The rift brought us all here, wherever here is. But monsters followed us through, and we need to stop them. We'll do a little bit of whatever this is, but mostly this. No matter what they throw at us, we'll take them down. Together with my friends, we'll put an end to the Rift of the NecroDancer.
Mic check, mic check, mic check. How's it going, everybody? How's it going? We have a very, very, very special stream this time. We have the creators of Rift of the NecroDancer. We have Maddie, we have Marlon, and yeah, I'm here just for the beginning, but guys, introduce yourselves, say what you worked on the game, and how everything's going.
Hello, I'm Maddie, or Madeline. I'm the comms director at Brace Yourself Games. I handle community marketing, a ton of stuff. It's been, so if you're talking to someone on the Brace Yourself Games account, not this Brace Yourself Games account in the Twitch chat, but usually it's me. So yeah, it's really nice to be here.
Yeah, hello, I'm Marlon. I started Rift prototyping a long time ago. I don't know, what is it, three and a half years ago? It was a while ago.
I think 2021.
Yeah, I was doing game direction on Rift for a while, and then I transitioned into doing game design, and it's been great. It's been a good time.
Yeah.
Great. Now, me and you have a history, right, Marlon?
We do.
We do, actually.
We do indeed.
The very first release of NecroDancer, Marlon was documenting the whole thing. Is that right?
Yeah, we did a little documentary of the release. I followed you guys to all the conventions, and we filmed, Ryan and Kevin and Danny and you and like everybody who was involved, and we made a little documentary, which is still on our channel somewhere. I started out actually doing trailers in general, and then Ryan, Crypt of the NecroDancer was the first game I ever made a trailer for, so which is pretty cringe at this point. But it's like, you gotta start somewhere. You know?
I think that's such a cool through line into the game industry. A lot of the game industry is so full of different professions and different skills, and to come in through trailers and end up as design is actually super rad.
Very
cool.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I'm very grateful for the opportunity, for sure.
Yeah. Well, we've kind of usurped Jesse's usual stream time slot, so sorry about that. But thank you for being here. I got to see the last stream, and you did some awesome Nocturna artwork. So we wanted to show off the finished thing to everyone who was there. So here, I'll just pop it up on the screen real quick, but.
Oh, so
good.
You want to talk about it?
Yeah, sure. I was really intimidated because this is Chloe's character design. Chloe's a very, very efficient character designer where every line and every placement actually matters. She also has a way better sense of fashion than I ever will.
Very fashionable.
So it was challenging, and I think you guys all saw. We saw a bunch of the people that were here today. Remember last week, I was just struggling on a lot of the things. My feminine faces just aren't that good. The lines up on there, and the problem is like I was a wide open book compared to Chloe's art. It was really wonderful getting a chance to draw Nocturna because I worked on revamped. What was that? What was the Nocturna expansion?
Oh, Amplified.
Amplified, thank you.
Yeah.
I worked on Amplified, and I got to work with Tim Keenan, who at the time was working with Big Robot. Or sorry,
Yeah, that's right.
Not Big Robot. What's the? Is it Big Robot?
Bad Robot.
Bad Robot.
Bad
Thank
Robot,
you. Yeah.
like the J.J. Abrams.
Yeah, J.J. Abrams crew. And he was there, and if anyone knows Tim Keenan, it's basically he has my volume. It's just he's from Boston. So whenever we're in at a group thing, it's just me and him yelling at each other at the same volume. And people can always tell where we are. But big shout outs to Tim Keenan. He works at Misfit Attic now. He's working on something cool. I actually got a chance to do some brief concept work for him. Very cool running into him again.
Cool.
Yeah, I think NecroDancer means a lot to me because I've got a chance to travel so much and meet so many people. NecroDancer took me to Kyoto, Tokyo, alongside to Boston and all over America, which was super, super rad. Yeah. And seeing the character now Nocturna, because before I had a couple. I took a couple bashes at how to do Nocturnal, and she was a little bit gnarlier when I was drawing her. So it was very good that Ted was there to knock the corners off my stuff. And now with Klei, I think this is the definitive. This is the definitive.
Super glam. Yeah, Nocturne is glammed up in Rift. I do want to say, like, yeah, Klei did the original design of Nocturna, and then we had another artist iterate a bit more on Nocturna. Her name is the name is Piper.
Great. So Piper's really quite astounding as well.
Yeah, we'll be showing off some Rift concept art later in the stream with Piper and Sunny. So stay tuned for that. We're gonna actually do like 30-minute time blocks, and we're gonna be pulling in people from our team in different disciplines. So right now we're just kind of like chatting, letting everyone come in, but afterwards we're going to bring in the game designers, and then we'll have music, so we'll have Danny in here, then we'll have programming and engineering, and then we'll end with the art stream. So if anyone, I think we might have a little bit of spoilers in there, so if anyone wants to zip, but I think maybe we cut those out and we'll show those in a later stream. But yeah, today's a great day. We're really excited, and we're really happy to see everyone here. I see.
Big shout out to my salmonella poisoning in Japan. Thank you.
Yeah, right.
That is right. Big recommendation, guys. Don't try chicken sashimi.
Oh my gosh.
Not even once. Not even once.
I don't plan on it.
Hey, thank you, Little Lightning. Good hearing you. I can't get the branding in, but this is great. We have a lot of people who are here for the regular stream. Again, this stream here is going to be all NecroDancer because big congrats on the launch, guys. Very
Thank
cool.
you.
And this is what number launch for you, Maddie?
I think this is number 4.
4 launches.
YG.
Big.
Yeah.
This is your first
But
gig in
this
games?
Yeah, I was in esports before.
Really?
Yeah, it was funny that you brought up esports earlier, because I was like, oh yeah, that was a time in my life.
Right.
But yeah, we're excited. How does it feel to have worked on, or to have done some NecroDancer stuff after all this time?
It's wild. Again, Ryan Clark. Ryan Clark's a pretty unforgettable guy. First time I really ran into him. He bought me a drink back at Full Indie when I was here at Kaylee's, the Irish pub, which I think is gone now. But he bought me a drink, and he said, "Oh, Jesse, I might have something for you." Everybody has a pretty good Ryan Clark impression. Yeah. I think Mike Molinari's is really one of the best. I think it's one of the best. He's quite good. But yeah, again, it was a project I got to work on. I got to do work on with a lot of people, and seeing it go from Ryan's basement where he worked. I remember I first met Ted in Ryan's basement, and he's like, "I'm going to drive you guys to Seattle, and we're going to show the game." And I was like, "Okay, great, sounds good." And we'd never shown before, and people actually say that we're pretty good at showing games, but that all comes from showing a game that was this popular on the floor. This thing was insane. They had to mark off extra areas for us. Everybody wanted to get on the
pad, yeah.
Everybody wanted to get on the dance pad and just lose terribly. I remember we had Adam Levine showed up. Wanted Tim Keenan, Tom Fulp, one of the first ones. Big shout outs to Newgrounds, of course. That was one of the first places I started posting art. Actually, was Newgrounds. So having Tom Fulp drop by and play the game was very, very wild.
I mean, you Jesse, you had the perfect persona for showing this thing off. As the people on the stream probably know, You walk up to the game and Jesse treats you as if he's known you for years, and it was great.
Yeah, I definitely developed a style of showing games and a style of my personality was easily translated into the show floor. But again, showing a game that's showing well, it just amps you up the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
And then they make PAX 4 days, and you're just fried at the end of the day.
Yeah.
A lot of people actually only knew me through my convention voice, which is a growly, raspy, terrible thing. So whenever they actually hear me outside of it, they're like, "Oh, well, you sound like that. That's really interesting."
Yeah. But yeah, I think maybe we can open up the game, and Marlon, maybe you can talk a bit about your experience transitioning from trailers to being a game designer.
Yeah, sure. I mean, it was a pretty cool experience. I worked doing game trailers for a while, indie trailers, Darkest Dungeon, NecroDancer, FTL, a bunch of different trailers I've made before, and then Ryan started Brace Yourself Games, and then he was like, "Hey, you want to just do trailers full time?" I was like, "Great." Did that for a couple years, and then
which is very wild to just. There was a giant power vacuum when Marlon got gobbled up by Brace Yourself Games. all of a sudden nobody else could use them anymore because he had that exclusive thing, and it was like frustrating for a lot of people that weren't BYG for sure.
I do remember. Yeah, I do remember at Red Hook being like, what?
Yeah, Red Hook was pretty. Oh, also big shout outs, of course, to Power Up Audio.
Yes.
They helped us show the game. Yes. Big shout outs to Jeff. Big shout outs to Kevin. All those guys, Joey. Those guys all helped show these games, show the games off.
Yeah.
They're very, very good.
Yeah.
This is cool. How's the mix sounding, guys? How's the mix?
How's it?
And see, I'm popping. I'm hitting the red all the time. Nobody got this ready for me.
When we were like preparing for the stream, we were doing some testing, and we definitely talk a little bit lower.
Okay.
Yeah, so
I try to use our projecting
our show voices.
Chateau Lon asks the names.
Oh, names.
Here,
We'll
let
go
me
through.
go here as
There
well.
we go. And Maddie,
Maddie or Madeline.
Marlon, and me, Jesse. You guys saw me from before. Mixed good. Okay, great. Sounds fine.
Great.
And come for you guys if it sounds fine. We know we're doing.
Yeah.
We're doing all right. We're doing great.
We have some headphones if you want to hear like the game, but I think for now we're okay. Yeah, welcome everyone. Is it FTLAK? Are these people that are usually?
Some of them are. We've had some people come in from the chat the stream that we do every Wednesdays. And yeah, this Wednesday we're doing a bit of a bump for the crew here at Brace Yourself Games. So that's what we're doing today. Giving my arm a rest,
Yeah.
But you guys got to be back next week so I get the cobwebs out again. That's
Nice. Yeah, we got Quiguki. Sorry, I'm gonna butcher literally everyone's name.
And well, that's all your guys' fault for naming yourself so weird. But
Chateau Lon, Thomas Stewart, hello.
Oh, Tom.
I think Visager is Josie Breckner, actually. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm making that assumption. Who is one of the amazing composers who did some songs for the game, so we'll play some of her music. Gabriel is in here, Tough. Our playtesters, they're incredible. If you have the game already, there are some custom music songs already up there, and Gabriel has put up Megalovania already from Undertale, so yeah. Hello Packy, hello Mr. Mither.
oh yeah, those are classic people that stop by the stream every
Very
Wednesday.
cool. It's so nice to be able to do this on Klei's stream. We're really excited to
Yeah,
be
Packy
able
is
to,
Alexa, who did all of our QA.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome! Big shout outs to QA.
Very important. And Thomas was somebody who worked at TikTok who we made the game with.
Oh, wild!
Yeah.
He worked on for about half the time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Love this newsreel you guys got going on here.
Yeah.
Look at this. That's always good. Honestly, those always make the games feel so alive that you're getting these like feedbacks. We're seeing actual devs, seeing actual people. This is super cool.
So I can keep talking about how we got into Rift though. So Rift, when I came onto it, Ryan actually had a very rough prototype using the crypt engine of like all the notes coming down and like the basic idea of the bats moving and that kind of thing, like when you hit them.
Using like the NecroDancer art.
Using like the
original
NecroDancer art and like
Shout out Ted Martins.
Yeah.
Shout out Ted Martins. Yeah.
And then I had some time and I was like, we were doing this thing called Free Fridays where you could like work on some prototypes. And then Ryan was like, here's the thing I've been working on. I don't know, you try working with it. And so I took it with Chloe and Alan from BYG, and we just that's when we came up with the lanes and the kind of the perspective and the
in the art style.
In the art style, something.
Yeah, art style definitely feels like elevated in such a cool way. It's like really pop. It's really punchy. It really just goes for sure.
Yeah, it'd be nice to show. It'd be nice to show some of that old, the like prototype stuff at some point. But...
Yeah, I think I'll probably post it on socials or something.
Yeah.
At some point. I know a while back we showed off what we call Marlin mode, which was some of the prototypes that Marlin did, where Marlin took actual pictures of himself and used that instead of just like random sketches to make the prototypes. So
I was doing like the yoga move. Like...
the yoga minigame is one of them. It's really funny. Yeah.
I actually think that's a really good point. You bring all your like editing and you can really make things juicy, and you make a lot of people like your interview that you got out of me. That I saw. was just so cool. I was like, I didn't know I'm that well I didn't know I was that well spoken, but I'm actually not. It's actually Marlon's editing ability, and I think that's got to come into play when you're actually building stuff like this, right?
Yeah, I mean, I use that a lot with the game design. Like, if there's something that we weren't sure of, I could like make a quick mock-up and like I test ideas. And
So
like that
cool.
before.
A really big thing is speed. Like that's what I always try to bring to projects too. Is just like getting ideas down fast, and Marlon being able to bring ideas and just present them in a way like that, like all of its presentation, because then people get like excited about working on it because it's all there, and it's all there, it's all right there for them, which is really cool.
Yeah, we actually made like we had a green light thing at the office where people would pitch game ideas, and so we actually, after we worked on the prototype for a bit, I like edited like a trailer together essentially and like showed it to the team.
So cool.
And that was what everybody was like, okay, let's
Yeah,
do it.
I don't exactly know what that position's called, but it's here we got Kyle actually, and Kyle can add juice to anything. He just runs he runs any project head first and just comes out, and it's just so delightful to work with people that can have this turnaround in so many different mediums. It's just crazy.
Oh, Ryan found the Marlon mode.
Oh, great! The big
So you
tweet,
guys
right?
should definitely check that out.
Oh, of course. You guys can post links, man. Ryan's got the powers. Oh, because they get
Yeah.
good, of course.
Yeah, Jan thought of everything when he was setting up this.
Absolutely, big shout out to Jan. The production team here is very good.
So
It-
good.
Really
you rarely get to see them unless I like spill something and Jan runs in and tries to fix it.
Literally, when we do streams at BYG, it feels so janky, but this is like so well thought out. And
Oh, I demanded 6 producers.
Yeah, you guys look at this. I'm gonna turn this on, but we have a hand cam, so we'll turn that on. I'll probably play something on Medium before Sky gets in here, but then we're gonna get Sky, who's one of our level designers, and she is incredible. Can clear the impossible tracks. I don't touch those with a 10-foot pole. But we'll let you guys see the magic that she does with the keyboard here.
I'd be actually really curious. Maybe Ryan can answer that, but the difficulty was always a big thing with NecroDancer from the very beginning. I think Coda was created to be unplayable, unbeatable, undoable. Do you guys carry the same spirit of that over to this game?
Yeah, we did. I mean, I think Aaron, who is the game director now, will be able to answer that a bit more because he worked with the level designer. But like, yeah, it's definitely a hard game.
Yeah.
Like the impossible mode is very difficult.
The game originally only had easy, medium, and hard, and one of the reasons that we delayed the launch, I'm not sure if people in chat remember, but we were supposed to launch, I think, last year, but one of the reasons that we launched, on top of other things, was we added impossible mode to all the songs, and I can show you the track list, but we have 30 plus songs on this track list. So
Sorry, was those added for impossible mode, or
yeah, so no, all the songs are in here, but we basically had to chart 30 plus songs in impossible. And you can see we realized that the difficulty spike was pretty. There's a lot from hard to impossible, hence we added a lot of extra flair to be like, this is really impossible. But I mean, in classic rhythm game fashion, we did have a bunch of our playtesters come in and then full clear things within the week. So.
And then we just had Spoody just cleared the which one was it again?
Final Fugue
Impossible on Dancepad.
Yeah. Spoody
So
Biscuit. Shout out to Spoody Biscuit. If you aren't following him, you should. But yeah, this is one of the longest and also most difficult songs. And he completed Impossible on Dancepad.
Yeah.
I can't even do it on keyboard.
Yeah, no.
I think I can get maybe
I can't even do hard. It's like
here. Let me. I'll show you.
Are you gonna play it?
I'm not gonna.
we're just gonna watch the.
Oh wait, I need my
we're
headphones.
just gonna watch it dump down.
I do. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you might get a little
Okay.
bit into it.
Okay. Getting a lot of grades here.
Okay, I'm actually doing okay.
You did really good, actually. You're doing great.
Oh. Ah!
Okay. Good job.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
It's a worm. The worm.
Anyway.
nicely done.
Well done, well done.
That's impossible, and so you can see I got 79 notes in. I didn't do the hand cam. All right.
We didn't do the hand cam. Oh, yeah.
No, it's fine.
No one will believe you. No one will believe you.
We'll get the hand cam for when Sky is here, but that's like a taste of what impossible is, just so you know someone was doing that on a dance pad.
But Spoody's broken records before on keyboard.
Yeah, I think Spoody was the first person to beat Coda on Crypt, which was...
That was a really emotional stream. I remember that. He was pretty... Yeah, it's a tear to my eye. It was pretty heavy.
Yeah. So we have a couple achievements in this game where I think Ryan, he was like, I want someone to not be able to do this for the first few years.
Wow, what a nice guy.
Yeah,
what a nice guy.
In classic Ryan fashion.
Oh, good. We have Shaggy CTK asking me when I'm going to improve the 60 FPS and Don't Starve Together.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna do it right now, Shaggy, but now that you brought it up, maybe I'll just take my time on it. That's we're doing NecroDancer stuff here, so yeah.
The arcadey Fortnite festival. I hadn't heard of that one yet.
Great. Oh, okay. So is it just the 3 directions? So that's what the dance plats.
The 4. So we wanted it to be the same controls as Crypt.
Yeah.
So it's 3 lanes. If there are 3 monsters that are coming in a row, you can hit down to hit all of them.
Got it.
That's one is Cadence joining Smash Bros. I mean, I would probably die if that happened.
It's Renee.
Hello, Renee.
Oh yeah, we have to shout out all of the team at TikTok. So we worked with the amazing game company called TikTok Games, who are based in California. Renee is the animator, so all of the wonderful animations he's either done himself or worked with a team to make. They were really great to work with, and yeah, just want to shout out the whole team, like basically, and you'll get to talk to a bunch of them during the stream.
Yeah.
Thomas is also was working for TikTok as well.
TikTok Games is based out in California, so everyone is going to be joining us over voice only from the TikTok side. But we're really excited for you to be able to ask them some questions. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Bummer about the name. They got a little
I know. It's TICTOC.
It's the original. It's the actual TikTok. Okay, great. Good to hear. And sister.
Oh, and also in the Philippines, it's a sister studio in the Philippines. We had a lot of really incredible level designers from there as well, and I think some
QA folks,
and art help.
Great. How was that the time difference with the depth for outsourcing like that?
Well, it was like TikTok is based in California,
That's fine.
So they do the communication.
Great. Good. It's all on them. Excellent.
So it was pretty easy, at least as far as I knew. That's how it works. So
love that.
Kobo Dragon is the producer, so tanked a lot of the time difference.
Oh, that's Abraham.
Yeah.
Oh, great. Awesome.
That's Abraham.
Yay. Hi, Abraham.
Flawless. Yeah, so we co-developed this. So Brace Yourself Games with TikTok Games, and then Klei is publishing, so that's why we're here on the Klei channel.
Yeah. So, yeah. Now it's out.
Now it's out.
Yeah. How's that feel? What's the emotional take on that one there, guys? He's been working on the game 3.5 years. Is that correct?
Well, I've been the one that's probably been working on it the long. Yeah, it's been 3+ years. Like, we were prototyping. Alan and Chloe and I were prototyping for maybe 6 months before we got TikTok involved.
It's cool.
So it might even be close to 4 years. I don't know. I haven't done the full math on that, but yeah.
Yeah, I think the folders in our drive were created in November 2021.
Oh my god, yeah.
So now it is February 2025.
And then plus Ryan was working on the original prototype before that. I think in 80 or 90.
2018, he said.
2018.
Yeah, that was when the very first prototype, and then we shelved it to work on some other things for a bit, and then we came back to it.
Yeah. Chat to Alana, what parts of the game you're proudest of, or would like to talk about more?
Oh my gosh.
Good question.
So I at the end of the Ryan and Aaron and the level design team took over the rhythm riff stuff, and they did an incredible job on that. And I kind of focused in on the boss battles and mini games. And I think, honestly, I was proudest of, like, the burger mini game. Like, it was just, like, one of the ones that are just, like, we prototyped it. I made a video of how I wanted it to work. And it's very close to, like, what it is now. And I don't know, it just really came together.
Yeah, we have 5 mini games in this game, and I also think that they're one of my favorite parts of the game. We'll definitely show them off later because they're just so cute.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think my favorite is the photo shoot mini game.
I mean, the art team was amazing with that one. Like, it's so funny every time.
Yeah. Curious, is this game playable with guitar controllers? Yes, I believe so. As long as you're able to rebind the arrow keys, you can play on pretty much anything. And the arrow keys are rebindable. Yeah. So I know some people prefer to play on like controller. I think I've seen someone already play on guitar the demo, like a guitar controller.
No bananas yet or anything strange.
I remember seeing someone do Crypt on bananas, I think.
Yeah, Crypt on bananas. Yeah. I'm glad that's there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Joy2Key would probably work on anything.
Yeah. Danny has been granted permission to post a link. What link is he posting?
Oh, guys, no, don't do that.
Oh yeah, Dance Pad, of course. We've had Spooty Biscuit and also Cow Eye. Shout out to Cow Eye, who also has like full comboed some hard tracks on Dance Pad, I think. So
it's incredible.
Actually, I can't even think about it. DK Bongos. Maybe.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, one of our designers, David, was he unfortunately couldn't be here in person, but he did get like an actual rhythm game controller with like the 4 buttons.
Oh,
and he was thinking of bringing that in, so maybe another time we'll do that, but that sounds like it would be fun.
That sounds fun.
Maddie, do you think that the since you have a little bit of background in esports, do you think that any of that competitive nature is in some kind of space? Does it?
Yes. Okay. So shout out to Gabriel in the chat. Gabriel is actually going to be running some community tournaments. One of the really cool things about Rift is that because the monsters each have unique abilities, we can do seeds for these. So we actually have a remix mode. Which you can see here.
Coda.
Remix mode is where we feature Coda. And remix mode will play a different beat, a different track. It changes things up while maintaining like the original design intention, so you'll get like patterns still. It's really cool. There's a whole system. Honestly, I don't fully understand it because to call it like procedural generation is not really doing it justice, but it's really cool. It's also what lets us do the daily challenge. So we have Gabriel in the chat who's going to be running some community tournaments where you can see who gets the highest score with the highest seed, or with the seed. Wow, talking. So yeah, Maraku is one of our programmers in the chat too. So really done some incredible things. We're really excited about it.
Wait, who's Maru?
Adrian.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Everybody has their Twitch name and their real name.
Yeah. So if you really want to challenge, like if you've gone through the songs and you're like, I want more, do remix mode. It takes a little bit of getting used to, but it's one of my favorite things because sight reading is really fun.
Actually, I always bring this up because the game has like this really punchy UX. And what was the? Is it just that's just the spirit of the game? But how did that like come to be? Because everything is dancing and punching and moving and squishing and sliding.
That was a bit of a journey too. Like, we did get help from the TGG side. They had some UX designers there, and they helped us like punch things up, which is great.
I always find UX to be this like limbo in game dev. You can work on it forever, and everyone always has an opinion of it, and it's such a challenge. We got we have like one master of UX here who's like one of my favorite people I've worked with, Ricardo. He's amazing, but there's only one of them. We haven't figured out how way to clone him properly yet. So, but yeah,
Steve from TDG, shout outs to Steve.
Great,
helped us a lot with the UX.
Cool.
We had a big collaboration too, because like I remember in terms of like the things bouncing and bopping on the screen, like that was one of the things that I remember doing a mock-up in video for too. It's like it'd be nice if things bump.
Yeah, like all pipe dream
like this.
It'd be so
like,
cool.
It'd be so cool. And they were just like, sure.
You can kind of see the journey of the bouncing by looking at our trailers. Our very first reveal trailer, if you see it, extremely different from what we currently have now. Like, we've iterated on it so much. It's taken a lot of work to get like the clarity and the feel, especially in rhythm riffs, that we really wanted. So I think we're in a very good place. We did a lot of work on it. So shout out to all of our animators and our artists who like worked tirelessly on that.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
Also, ask David, there's always that one UX guy. That is
Always.
right. And if you get used to, Adobe has that XD program that you can basically build a whole thing just out of screens and clicks and stuff like that. If you can get in on that angle, like they'll always, everyone will always have a place for you. And if you're good to work with, that's part of it. But, yeah, it really did land here. There's a lot of great polish, obviously. It's very cool. And it's so cool to see a side by side of like this compared to the OG, where the OG.
It's very different.
Oh, we got knock.
We're
Who's here?
at time.
Oh,
We're at
it's
time.
So,
All right.
thank you for
No
joining
problem.
us.
All right.
All right, I'm tapping out. Wonderful. Thanks so much, guys. Thank you very much.
All right.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
All right, we are bringing in a couple of folks. I'm going to get into.
It's altruistic and empathetic and reasonable. That's
Sky,
what-
you can
by
sit
the way,
here.
Their idea is, and this was floated.
Darren. You both have headphones there, which we'll take a listen to. But if you want to do some quick introductions to everyone in the chat, name, role, things like that, so we can start with Sky, who's gonna be doing a lot of the hard work this stream.
Oh, right now?
Yes.
Oh, we're live. Oh, hey. My name is Sky. I am one of the level designers on Rift. So this is for the Rhythm Rift mode. For the most part, I wasn't designing levels from scratch. I was going over all of the existing levels that we had from our other level designers and kind of giving feedback on them and modifying them so that they were as musically accurate, as fun, and just as good as possible. I did also do some actual level design, like, from the ground up as well.
Awesome. Yeah. Hi, my name is Aaron Gordon. I'm the game director on Rift. I do design things, I do some production things. So in charge of like doing the game modes, I did some level design reviews, mini games, boss fights. Sky does all the hard work and plays all the tracks that I can't. And she'll be like, yeah, we missed a spot here. And I'm like, yeah, good idea. We should make it. Yeah, the Hemiola. Yeah, definitely. I knew we missed that as well.
The polyrhythms.
The polyrhythms, I know
Yeah.
all about that. No, but working with Sky and Danny and Ryan Clark has been awesome. Just like they're so musically talented and just on it in terms of making all the rhythm riffs high quality. But yeah, that's me.
Yeah, we are also joined by David over voice. David, if you want to introduce yourself as well.
Hi, yeah. I'm David, one of the other level designers on the game. You might see me as BYGD in the Discord, and I shitpost a lot there, so apologies for how I may seem.
It's true.
I hope everyone is suffering with all the impossible tracks.
David is always our key part. Like, well, I'm like, David, I think we made this one too hard. He's like, the rhythm players yearn for it. They yearn for an impossible mode that they can suffer in.
I mean, yeah, that's specifically, like, if I can beat it, then it's beatable, so,
Yeah, half
Doesn't
the
really
time,
matter.
I throw stuff at you, and I'm just very confused. And, like, I expect someone to take a bit longer to pass this, but...
Yeah.
We definitely have made a lot of very hard charts.
Yeah,
Shall we play something? Finally?
Yeah,
let's do it.
I think you can. Why don't you pick like just your favorite track?
my favorite track.
No pressure.
Oh, am I about to... Oh. This is my favorite track
I
in
love
the game.
Baboosh.
Let's just start with hard. I'm not confident enough
Warm
right
up,
now. Just a warm-up. All right.
Yeah. Aaron, where did the decision come from to do a more Guitar Hero style game instead of the dungeon crawler roguelike?
Yeah, sure, I can talk about that. So I joined the project just after the prototyping stage, and talking to Ryan Clark, the original creator of the NecroDancer. His vision was always, wants to make a rhythm game where it has some of the mechanics from Rift, but also appeals to that wider audience where you can look at it at a glance and be like, that's Guitar Hero, but it's got mechanics in it, and monsters doing stuff. And also to innovations according to what we do at BYG. We're known for our awesome rhythm games. We wanted to make a rhythm game that's wasn't carved our own niche as well. It wasn't just do what you see. It wasn't just about sight reading. It wasn't just about signing salespeople on your chart. It was, you got to hear what Sky is playing now. You got to understand that the skulls are going to split off into two skeletons, and then some zombies will bounce off of each other, and then we combine that with stuff like remix mode, where it shakes up the monsters. You got to read the patterns, understand what all of the monsters do. And immediately when we saw it in the prototyping form, we started putting it in some of Danny's music. We're like, yes, that's it. This works. And it's just been a joy to continue improving on it. I've never worked on a game that so quickly proved out its value. And I was like, yeah, this is working. Players are loving it. And we just got more and more time to polish and make more tracks.
Yeah, I also want to just reiterate how difficult this game is to play if you're trying to focus on other things as well.
Yep.
To any streamers who are playing this and trying to talk to people, I'm like, it's so impressive.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, somebody said in chat, shout out to Power Up Audio for their excellent sound design. Yeah, the whole team, especially Kevin, you worked awesome. Every time we're looking to get some extra juice on something, they just improve the game so much. Big shout out.
What's your favorite song in the game?
My favorite. I'm a traditionalist. I love Revenge.
Oh, Revenge is
Since we put out the PAX demo, since it's in the free demo that we got up on the store page now, Revenge every time. I think it's the only I can FC it on hard every single time. Can't quite impossible it yet, but I'm working my way towards it.
Oh, okay.
How about you, Maddie?
Oh man, there's so many good ones. I really like Rift Within. That one's a really fun one. Under the Thunder is a really fun one. Nocturning is a good one as well. Is a bunch that I really enjoy. And then all the Jules tracks.
It's pretty good. Glass Cages. It's such a banger.
On, yes.
On.
So see where I can't pick a favorite. Every time you're like, oh yes, that one too.
Yeah.
Scott, you made it so easy.
It was.
Alright, well I guess you gotta bump it up now. Yeah. So Sky, you have a musical background though.
Yes.
How does that help you with charting different levels?
Yeah, I mean, it kind of... My background is, I haven't really had much of a traditional, schooling with it or anything. I mostly just learned via play. Yeah, you can go ahead. Yeah, I mostly learned through, just learning how to play an instrument and messing around with composing stuff. So I kind of just, inherently understand music in a way that's... It works very well with Rift. And so, yeah, it just kind of, whenever I'm going through reviewing a level, it just feels... I just kind of, look for things that feel, I don't know, off. If there's, something that doesn't play when a note plays, obviously that gets fixed. But also just, kind of the general feel of the song, with how patterns are charted. Sometimes there'll be some things that just don't quite feel right in my brain, and so I'll try and mess around with it until it works, or until it feels right to me. So yeah, that's kind of just how I've gone about making these levels as good as they possibly can be.
Did your strategy for charting songs change as you worked on the game, or have you always kind of approached it in the same way?
Yeah, no, it definitely changed over the course of production. 'Cause, yeah, I mean, part of that is just that, over the course of development, the game itself went through a lot of changes. we didn't even have all of the enemies finalized or made by the when I first started working on the project. So there were a lot of changes that I had to retroactively go back and fix. A good example would be the armadillo enemies, the triplets or the swing notes. Those didn't exist for a good while. Those were, I believe, the last enemies that we added into the game. And, those beforehand we had some other, we had to work around that, but then when we added that, we had to go back and fix some of the older charts to add armadillos in, and it's...
Yeah, I think the armadillos came because we realized that we needed some triplets.
Yeah, especially there are some songs that rely very heavily on triplet rhythms, like Cryptook and one of the Jules tracks, Matriarch, I think.
Shout out to Glass Cages for ruining us level designers. I say this out of love, Josie.
And Glass Cages.
Yeah, shout out to Josie, who literally changed our whole game and the way that we design charts. In a good way.
Yeah, no, it's definitely... I'm really happy with how the mechanics and everything turned out. And yeah, Glass Cages was a huge reason for why we made a lot of the changes. And it's a banger song, too.
It is.
I was risky for a while. I went down to 3 HP. I looked at the stream for a second.
What's your favorite instrument?
Favorite instrument?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I might have to be basic and say it's the electric guitar, just because that's the one that I play the most. And yeah, I put the most effort into it. But I do really like drums, and I mean, I'm sure there are some other more obscure ones. I love the sitar. I think one of our songs actually does have a sitar somewhere in it. I can't remember. I think it was one of Josie's tracks.
Probably.
Or maybe I'm thinking a different instrument, but yeah.
Yeah, I used to play clarinet in band. So, way back when. So I like the clarinet. Awesome. Oh no. I'm gonna embarrass myself on stream. Oh no.
Oh, we got a question. What's the least favorite song to work on? I'm gonna cheat and spin it and be like, what's the most challenging one to work on? I know traps are a big one, right? If we want to have a track with lots of portals, it's sometimes Matrix, spider web in your mind, you got to try and plan out where the monsters are going to land.
Yeah, well, I want to give a shout out to some of our other level designers, especially Rox. Before we actually had a proper visual editor, like the editor that you can download and make custom charts with. Before we had that, we had to make the charts in the editor that we were making the game with, and there wasn't really much of a good visual there. And somehow Rox managed to just make these incredible teleport chains and stuff like that, all without having a proper visual editor. And I don't know how she did it.
It was amazing. All of our level designers are great. Ella as well.
Yes.
There's some awesome tracks. Dustin, he made excellent tracks as well. And consistently, again, it's been one of the most fun things to work on this game. It's having to review some content and get to play all the level designers' tracks every day. And I think there was one point where I got big hand cramp. I was like, oh man, I gotta learn how to play left-handed because I can't do some of these. That's always fun. Oh, level design is LD. My bad, I slipped into our lingo.
Yeah.
Oh my
Game developers love their acronyms. Don't get us started.
Yeah.
Acronyms and spreadsheets.
Oh. Spreadsheets. We love spreadsheets.
Yeah, just to riff off of Sky too, in terms of Rox is crazy with portals. All the portals in Revenge are from her, and just brain built different.
Yeah. Oh, somebody in the chat is saying it's incredible that not one day after launch people are taking the dev records off the board. Our dev record didn't even last an hour, not even 10 minutes. When we first brought out the demo, so we had a big internal playtest in the studio to be let's put some leaderboard scores up. We all spent all day, 30 of us, playing the game non-stop, trying to get like S rank full combos. 5 minutes after the demo went live, absolutely annihilated. Absolutely, we did a bunch of the balancing of the score, and we got a spreadsheet which says like the theoretical max score is this. And I had to go back to that spreadsheet a bunch of times. I'm looking at the leaderboards, I'm like, I don't think their score is possible. I don't know how they got that high score, and I run the math, and I'm like, no, they did. That's it. But how? Like, it's like the absolute top score. We have a lot of fidelity too. You can get a perfect, but we have a secret perfect. But if you really get a perfect, you get a few extra little points.
Yeah. Oh man, I think so. If you're playing the game, if you see someone on the leaderboards with like bracket dev in front of their name in blue, that's
there.
Like dev Ryan Clark. That's a dev.
Place.
Wow.
Alright, by the end of the stream, let's come back to King's Roost Hard. Can anybody else knock Ryan down from the top 5?
Lack of content. Thank you for the raid. Hello. Let's let Sky go ham.
All right.
There you go.
Guys
already gonna take the top spot back on Disco Disaster.
That's true. Yeah, I was just earlier today. I was still at number 1.
What is it? By
just 1,000 points. Yeah. All right. Well, let's give this a try.
David, what's your favorite song?
Let's rock.
I feel like I'm very partial to Brave the Harvester at this point, because it's been sitting in my head, and any of the guitar work by Jules is just, it's so fucking good. It just feels really great to map like all of the guitar shreds.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm very partial to any Jules tracks, but I don't know, Revenge, any tracks by Mukala are also like banger.
Yes. Do you, aside from like favorite song, is your answer for your favorite track that you charted different, or is that like why it's your favorite track?
Okay, this is hard. This is hard because Brave the Harvester I love overall, but I will say with people struggling on Final Fugu, I don't know how you pronounce it. Fugue.
It's Fugue.
I've seen a lot of people suffer on it, and I'm very happy that, like, yes, please suffer.
Oh my gosh.
People are in the chat saying, is that a challenge? Like, yes. Go to King's Roost. Is it hard mode or impossible?
Impossible.
There's a hard mode, King's Roost. And we'll check in at the end, and we'll see if anybody's conquered it.
Fugu. Yeah, it's one of our inside jokes where no one knows how to pronounce Fugue. So every stand-up we say it's foie gras or foie gras. Fugu.
Somebody's asking, like, hey, would it be difficult to play it on a controller or a keyboard? Like, we've got full controller support. It plays really well on the controller. You use the face buttons, so you use the D-pad in one hand and the face buttons on the other. So you've got the full, like, all the controls.
It's also fully Steam Deck verified, so you can play it on Steam Deck. I would not personally touch an impossible track on the controller, but it's definitely playable and quite fun.
For sure. I'm in the office all day, every day this week. I've been just playing with the controller, and it works great. You still get the accuracy there as well.
Yeah, Ryan's saying that Sky is doing this track with one hand when I think most people have used two to do it.
I kind of just learned how to play with one hand, and then if I need to use two hands, I will, but I don't usually.
Not even phased. What about remix mode? Are you able to do impossible and remix?
I could try. I have not.
You have not
tried, but
But you can do like hard and stuff, right?
Yeah, I can definitely do hard.
Oh, let's go!
I mean, I made one mistake. Oh, we got an achievement.
Achievement. Just for Klei.
Good job.
Yeah, I could give it a try to one of the impossible remix mode ones. I'll be nice to myself and do the easiest The easiest impossible try. Actually, I don't think this is the easiest one, but let's give it a try. I have no idea what
Have we given a rundown of remix mode?
Sort of at the beginning, but basically it changes up the monsters every single time that you play. So there's a seed in everything. So you can't memorize the track, you have to sight read it every time. And it's really incredible.
Yeah.
I'm a medium girly for remix mode.
me
I can't
too.
go above medium on remix mode.
Yeah.
Oh, Danny says do shopkeeper mode. We'll show off shopkeeper mode after. Actually, Danny, we'll do it when you're in here. Danny's in the next slot.
Back in the groove.
Yeah, for remix mode too, it allows us to do like a daily challenge. So we've got a daily challenge where everyone plays the same seed, and we have a separate high score that one day, like one shot, do as well as you can. That's it. And you'll notice like we're on remix mode, but it still sounds like Sky's playing the game, or the monsters are still hitting where they're supposed to hit. So it's not random. It's you're definitely following the beat still. We just changed where there might have been a blue slime before. There might be two skeletons, or where there might be a bat going left to right, there's now like a blue skeleton combo instead. Sorry, a blue slime combo instead. That's really fun.
David is probably our resident rhythm game enthusiast. I remember when David was still in Vancouver, we would go to one of the rhythm game arcades and like do all the like cool machines. David, what's like your favorite like other rhythm game outside of it?
Ongeki.
Ongeki.
All my homies know Ongeki. My is also up there. I mean, like, I can't take all the credit for being the resident rhythm game enthusiast too, because both Ella and Rox are also similarly well versed in any Japanese arcade rhythm game. No, Sky!
I could not tell what was going on.
Remixing, but you can see we've got the seed in the top left.
Yeah.
So if anybody wants to try the same track that Sky just tried, start the game, enter that in the custom seed. And yeah, see if you can get better than it was. What'd you get? 360?
360 beats in.
Yeah.
I think if I quit stage, it'll also tell me what the score I got was. Yeah. 383148.
So you actually, it still inputs you if you fail on it.
Yeah, it nerfs your score a little bit, but we still get it. Yeah, we still have the remix mode leaderboards there.
Alright. What's a good one?
Chat, what do you want to see us play?
Yeah, what should we play?
Anyone else have a favorite? Let's do a Nocturna track, maybe. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Which are
Let's see.
Nocturna ones? They should be starting with Nocturning.
Let's do Noctuning. We'll do
Let's do it. All right, Impossible.
Sam and Nick's songs are so vibey. I really love them.
3, 2, 1, bring it on! Now we're talking.
We got some folks who want to do Revenge and Matriarch next, so we can.
Can I do Revenge?
You can do Revenge,
One part?
totally.
Love that track.
You've done the challenges, right, Guy?
Yes.
So maybe we can show off some challenges as well.
Impressive.
Very impressive.
Someone's asking, what's your guys' favorite monster design?
Oh. The bats. I don't know.
The bats,
There's something. They're very cute. I love the bats. Their little like smiley faces just really get me.
I think for me it's got to be the Blade Master. Like that shing hit is just so satisfying to get, especially when it's like 3 of them bouncing up on the rift.
Yeah, we got Armadillo in the chat. We got Green Slime. I do think Harpy is probably the most impressive translation from Crypt to Rift. I think they're really cool. And then Worms are actually a new monster that we introduced for this game, but they are a reference to the green dragon in Crypt of the NecroDancer. And Marquee actually made a weekly challenge in Crypt where you can play as a worm. And it's kind of like Snake, where you can.
It's very cool.
It's really fun.
It looks really fun.
It's really cool. Skeleton
Yeah.
with the shield, yes.
Speaking of our monster design, you mentioned like we try and reference Crypt a lot, right? So we took all these monsters from Crypt and we try and like capture their essence and how they behave. And we took inspiration from a bunch of stuff. There's also a lot of things that, you know, we had loads of ideas at the start that, you know, maybe you'll see come back later. Maybe they're, you know, on the icebox for now, but we, you know, had the Hellhound, we had some wizards in there.
We're gonna show off some of the concepts for those later in the stream, so we can. Wait, Aaron, we'll get you to. You gotta project.
Oh, my bad.
No, it's that mic.
That's not like
Yeah.
I knew that.
Hey Sky, how are you still doing this one-handed? We get you trying to show off, but man, come on.
Get good? No. I just got used to doing this.
Did you play many rhythm games? Actually, I won't talk to you right now.
I was pretty close to over.
So I know for me personally, I've played like I've played like Rhythm Doctor, I've played like Melatonin, Guitar Hero, Rock Band, obviously, but I think in general, I'm very much a casual rhythm gamer. What do you consider yourself like a casual rhythm gamer?
I used to consider myself like a fan of rhythm games, and then I started working with people who are self-proclaimed rhythm game fans, and they are so good at rhythm games that it scared me a little bit. So now it's the same way of like if someone says, "Hey, I'm really good at fighting games," I'm afraid. In the same way that I'm afraid when people are like, "I'm a rhythm game player," I'm like, "Cool, I'm an amateur at best."
Yeah. Hi, Rick Brunello. Thanks for the raid.
Hi.
I was popping into your stream earlier.
Revenge you wanted?
Wanted on top.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, look at me there.
There's Sky.
Alright, Sky, I'm coming, like, gonna be fourth
You think
place.
you can FD that?
Absolutely.
But yeah, to answer the question from before, yeah, I've played a lot of Clone Hero or
yeah.
Guitar Hero in my day, and yeah, that was kind of just for a good like 4 or 5 years. That was just kind of I would just pick it up. Like I was never too serious with it, but I would just pick it up and play it for fun, and I got pretty decent at it. And yeah, that definitely helped me with being able to get better at working on this game.
Yeah. Rick says, I consider myself okay in rhythm games, but this game is something else. Yeah, I think that's the sentiment that we've seen a lot, where just by looking at it, because it's 3-lane, people expect the game to be easy. They're like, how hard can it be? And then people try it and they're like, oh. So, yeah, I think it comes a bit as a shock sometimes.
It's very funny seeing like anyone versed in rhythm games. They play like tutorial and it's like, all right, time to do impossible mode, and then they immediately get humbled. And yeah, it does. To answer the previous question too, like I come from like mostly an arcade rhythm game background as of recent, but I played a lot of Beat Saber as well. And yeah, Rift, as Maddie said, is such a big adjustment from other rhythm games. So I don't know. I don't think anyone should feel ashamed that they can't do impossible, because it's something else.
Yeah, well, we definitely designed impossible charts to be like pretty much as musically accurate as possible, which in some cases is pretty manageable. And then you have like literally any of Jules' tracks where you have an entire guitar solo full of like 30-second notes, and it becomes pain.
Pain.
Goodbye fingers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This song is such a banger.
Yeah, Alex really, all of his tracks were just so good.
No misses. No misses.
None of our composers missed even once.
I'm not gonna lie, when you said no misses, I thought you meant Aaron had no misses, and like, are you trying to
You're
jinx
like, actually.
I don't have any misses.
This is it, the full clear.
He's locked in. He's locked in.
So let him focus.
I need this food.
Hey, Aaron, do you have any? Or, sorry. Damn, it really is locked in. No, okay, all right, Aaron, you got to share a morbid animal fact now.
Morbid animal fact.
David, why don't you explain to our viewers?
So within our group of level designers, whenever we do a level design review, if a map was too easy, we just said, hey, does anyone have any fun animal facts to share? And we eventually just shifted over to like just morbid animal facts along the way. So Aaron's cruising on like a medium map, and then we go off on like, some birds like just use other birds as like, I don't know, surrogate families and abandon their children. I'm like, yeah, cool, that's great to know.
Yeah, like cookies.
Yeah, thanks, David. Thanks for that.
Perfect timing.
I really appreciate you. As soon as David starts speaking, I thought he's going to mention the morbid animal facts, isn't he? Those two misses, that's on you, David.
I don't know. I think that's on you because you were the one that actually missed.
Is that Danny? Is that Danny?
What, Danny?
It's Danny's time.
Hi.
So we're gonna do a trade-off here.
All right, thanks, buddy. Thanks,
Thanks
y'all.
for joining us.
Farewell, chat.
Thank you. Hello.
Oh, yeah.
So that was our game design and level designers. We're now gonna shift focus a bit. If you have any music-focused questions, Sky and Danny are definitely the ones to answer that. And then I don't know if Josie is still in the chat, but if there's any questions for Josie too, that would be pretty cool.
What's up, YouTube?
What's up, YouTube? We're not on YouTube. We might be later, actually. I'm not sure.
Well, you're welcome then.
Danny
should,
said it's my turn with the Xbox, yeah.
Pop on some of that shopkeeper action.
Oh, yeah, I'll
which
definitely show
which
off.
is which one do you want?
I'm trying to think of what a funny one is. Oh, I think Spookhouse Bob is pretty funny. The stuff he does in the middle.
Yeah. But a man who needs no introductions. This is Danny Baranowski, but
Hi.
I'm gonna do one anyways.
I'm Danny Baranowski.
He's composer, led the music team, so thank him for this incredible soundtrack.
Thank me.
Thank him.
All right. Let's do.
I haven't seen anybody use this yet, so it'll be cool to see more people play with the shopkeeper on. Just hard? I see.
It's so good.
He gets very emotional in the breakdown.
How do you make the shopkeeper stems?
Oh my god, it's just 12 years of experience with a single patch on Omnisphere. It's just this like operatic patch, and I just put it on, I don't know how much music terms to use here, but like it bends it. So a lot of times I'll pull it from a lower note to a higher note, so it does the really fast vibrato. It's very simple, but it's just like I have a lot of experience just like bending it, just learning how to bend it and where to bend it and adjusting how fast it bends and stuff. Yeah.
So you don't actually sing yourself.
No, I don't. Yeah, it does kind of sound like Final Fantasy 6.
Yeah, I think, Power Up Audio and our programmers did such a cool job making it so that he actually sings it on the right, which I think is so
Yeah,
fun.
no, I'm really happy we were able to make it so he opens his mouth at the right time.
Bend it like
That was
this.
when we in Crypt, when we had him, the shopkeeper opens his little mouth. It's like a pixel because it's like super pixel art. But I had to manually put in all the timings for that. So I had to go through every single track and just like get the exact time open, close, and it was just
And not the same for this.
no. This is just it worked. It just worked.
Just do it.
Okay, so here's where he gets really soulful and.
Oh my god.
Much emotion.
This is my first time hearing the shopkeeper one for this track.
For me, it's I have some rules, like internal rules on writing this stuff, but number one rule is it has to be stupid. It just has to be dumb. And it's still funny to me doing this because God, I had to do so many for Kate's Hyrule, and I've done so many of them, and it's, you do any work for 10, 12 years, it kind of gets old. But at the end of the day, like, I hear it now, I'm like, yeah, it's pretty funny. So.
How do you keep your, like, making music fresh to you?
You don't. You learned it. I got arthritis, dude. Like, it's
I mean, you're playing shows live now.
Yeah.
So.
That helps. So that's one of the songs we play live. We're gonna go on tour in March, playing in Seattle on the 20th.
February 20th.
February 20th. That's a big part of it. As far as it's really at this point just about like kind of challenging myself, just like finding genres that I'm not comfortable with, or just like, I don't know. I write so much these days, and I've written so much. I don't think about it that much. It's just because I like being given targets. I really like, that's one of the things I love about writing video game music. Meat Boy. Yeah, you're a slab of meat, and you're jumping around. There's like saws and fire and stuff. Boom. Make music for that. Like that, having that challenge. So this game was a little bit more open-ended, but it's like, just make a song and then make a level on it. But it just kind of conformed to the whole like NecroDancer-y feeling. Like it's kind of spooky and intense, this kind of stuff. Shopkeeper on this one?
Oh, is it?
No.
No.
Vitor asks, what's your favorite song to play live?
Count Funkula is very fun. God, they're kind of long. But like Count Funkula is just like, Baboosh is hard. Boosh is hard, fast. Spook House Pop is really fun because it feels like that's my musiest song, like the band Muse.
Musiest.
Musiest. Musician. Is that where Muse's name is from? Is it just shortened for musician? Do you think? It's like, hey, my band's musician. It's called Muse.
Let's call it Muse, short for musician. What do you think, chat? Is that what it's about? So as like the two folks at the studio with probably the most understanding of musical tone and you know what I'm trying to say. But like, how has working together been for you as you've like translated the music to game design?
Us working together?
Yeah.
Yeah, ever since Sky got on the project, it was so much easier for me. Like, she has a very useful skill set in that she's very good at games, she's good at testing, she's very detail-oriented, but she also knows the music stuff. So I was able to focus a lot more on just like getting music stuff done, because I was helping on other stuff before, but just like, I don't, it's a cliche, but I just don't know how I could have done it without her, because yeah, she has a lot of skills that I don't. I'm kind of just a music guy. I never did like implementation, I never did testing, this kind of stuff. Like, I'm really just a flower child. Just put me in the studio and something cool will come out. But like, yeah.
Flower child Danny.
Yeah. And I don't know how Sky feels about it.
We'll get Sky's opinion after we. That. There we go. We'll get a little bit less of the lightning.
Yeah, Scott, was I great to work for? Was I just... How was I? Was it good to work for me? Was it fun? Did you have a good time? Was it good to work for me? Was it fun? Am I bothering you?
Yeah.
Am I bothering you?
Yes to all of those.
We also like to make Sky talk while she's doing impossible tracks.
The BPM change here.
Yeah.
Oh, that's perfect.
I've been playing drums for 30 years, and I can't do that, so...
I'll stick it to the hard difficulty.
She also... when we would review level designs and stuff, I would just buy a practice pad and she would tap it out because it's like it's difficult to read in real time for me sometimes, especially when we gotta get real noodly. I know what the rhythm should be, whatever. I can do that part, and when she kind of bridges that gap, and she's like, "This is the input." Like it's just, yeah, it was great. Like you're great.
You want a break?
Yeah, maybe someone else
Okay,
take a turn.
But I'll show off some of the medium tracks so that we can like show people it's not all super intense. But yeah, let's get some claps in chat for Sky because that was really impressive. As you can see, Sky is still at the top of the leaderboards in here.
Do you count Funkula medium with shopkeeper?
With the shop, okay. Count Funkula medium.
Yeah, this is the shopkeeper's forte.
Forte.
I think of him as like kind of a lounge
3, 2,
singer kind of situation.
Yeah.
You sound just like him.
There you go. Oh no. I love his voice. Oh shoot, I'm just listening to him. Oh my gosh. He sounds like an angel.
Yeah, he would agree. I have like a whole persona. I dressed up as him once. I have the costume still somewhere. He should have kept singing through the drum solo because he's an egomaniac. So he's like the best singer in the world, but like he knows it. I have this whole like headcanon for him.
Share more.
Okay, so he thinks he's the best in the world, but he kind of also is. Anytime he sings along with a song, he won't do anything that like musically compromises this song, but anytime he can like go above and beyond what the song does, like if there's a solo or something, he's always just like, yeah, that's pretty good, but I'm gonna do a little bit better, just to kind of like what that kind of thing.
Oh,
He's a Pisces.
he's a Pisces?
I don't know what that means, so I hope that's cool.
Oh my gosh, I got distracted by Pisces.
I'm on fire.
I think Cadence is an Aries.
I'm an Aries.
Me too!
I'm just the lone Libra here, I guess.
Oh my gosh. I love the shopkeeper mode so much.
Yeah, Josh's talking about getting a MIDI pickup for his guitar. So like when we play, Josh's my guitar player in our band. If we got a MIDI guitar, he could play the shopkeeper live on his guitar.
Really?
Yeah, we would just hook up that VST. Yeah, if we got MIDI pickups with the guitar, Josh could play saxophone with the guitar, all kinds of stuff.
So you would be forcing Josh to learn even more impossible parts.
I mean, I don't think the shopkeeper stuff is usually that hard, but I could be wrong.
Did you take into consideration more people playing live when you were writing this music?
No.
Okay.
No. Well, I mean, once I kept having to, I guess that's not true. Like once
Nothing to
I
it.
had Josh had to learn parts and stuff, but I would be like, hey, I can simplify these parts or whatever, and Josh is like, no, don't.
Vitor says I win.
Yeah, so Vitor and Bonus Stage Band, that's Vitor and Josh, my bass player, guitar player, my band, they will tell you and I do this to myself too, the way I write music, a lot of people will write music like A section, B section, A section, B section, C section. My music is usually just like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and in that, not like things don't repeat, and I switch stuff up all the time because I click everything in, I don't play it in. But it messes me up too because I'll write drum parts where it's just like every 2 measures there's something different you just have to memorize. And I think, you know, part of it is that I do that to make these levels interesting. Like the there is repetition, there are sections that kind of repeat in this stuff, but like the idea is that since you want to be on with the game like this, it's not like Guitar Hero where it's like you just memorize it. You can, and a lot of times you have to. But the conceit with this game is like, oh, the notes are represented by these little monsters with behaviors. And so if you want to have, it's kind of just level design in music. And that's part of what I asked our team to do. Was like, think of the song as level. They're through compose, try to make them through compose. Or through compose, basically, it just means that they don't really repeat. They'll repeat small sections or whatever, but in general, there's always something moving and changing. Because if you just put some pop tune in here that's just A, B, A, C, D, you only have to memorize like 2 parts, and then you just repeat them. And that's just kind of boring. Like, to leverage the strengths of this game and the mechanics of this game, you want to be surprised from time to time. You want to think, okay, here's 3 Blade Masters coming down. Last time they did, oh, but it's different this time. Oh, but it's different this time. And then just like tempering that with like occasionally they'll be like right here. I think that's the same both times, but then there'll be a fill that goes into something totally different. So yeah, and all of the composers did a really good job at following that. Even this is a reference to 4-1.
Oh yeah.
I will say, it's funny, you asked me, like, do I write stuff with live people in mind? Nicholas Doust,
Yeah.
the guy who sings the stuff, I definitely think of him every time I do this and see how impossible I can make the vocals just to make him suffer. Because he does YouTube videos where he tries to sing all these things.
Yeah. Shout out to Nick Doust.
Yeah. The Frenchman who I was convinced was Polish for some reason. This is one of those strange things that happens in life, is you think people are Polish.
Tempo change.
Yeah, this chart has a few.
Oh man, I would love to show off the... I should have downloaded this before. But Sriha's version of Tonga Kappa.
Is that the one you're talking about where it slows down every time?
Yeah, every 8 feet. They did such a good job.
How long is it?
It's not very long. It's... I can't remember how many notes. Oh, Sriha's in the chat, hello!
I love how he sings while biting his nails. This one's fun to play live too. This is the happy section, so we get really happy when we play this section.
Oh.
It's fun. It's funnier in context. Me just explaining it. We do a funny thing. Trust me, it's funny.
No!
Oh!
Right at the end.
You got a Chivo though.
Did I? Oh, 50 notes in a row with power, vibe power, that's the word. Oh, yeah, playing at an angle like that is a little awkward.
Yeah, here. I probably have more difficulties, but the sound system going crazy at the slowdowns. Yeah, we're definitely we'll have Maru in here in the next section, I believe, and Maru's the one who basically did the whole level editor, so we can have Maru talk about that as well.
Yeah.
Before settling on a Guitar Hero riff, did y'all pitch any other rhythm gameplay concepts? I mean, we've toyed around with the idea of, like, VR and NecroDancer before. I don't know. But, like, yeah, I think, honestly, we realized that this concept was good really early, so we kind of just stuck with it.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of those things where, like, the core concept itself wasn't that complicated, just a matter of solidifying it and just coming up with enemy behaviors and stuff. Like, So Ryan and Marlon and Aaron would be better.
Please don't make me queue it. True. Yeah, and I mean, there's other game modes in Rift as well. Like, we're playing the rhythm riffs, which are the core, but there's also mini games and boss battles. The mini games kind of being Rhythm Heaven inspired, and then the boss battles being like Punch Out inspired. So I suppose in that way we managed to get more different kinds of rhythm games into this one game. And we'll show off some of the mini games and boss battles later. Did you have a different approach to boss battles than the Rhythm Rift tracks?
Yeah.
And like mini games too, I suppose.
So the boss battle tracks were more so the Rhythm Rift tracks is kind of open concept. Like, you just kind of write what feels good, conforms to like loose thematic, like sounds kind of like NecroDancer. It's 2 to 4 minutes of just like something with interesting rhythms and different sections and stuff to go through that would be good for the game, and you just kind of get used to that and you go for it. The boss tracks are more, you'll notice all of them go through kind of like intro, section A low intensity, section A high intensity, intervention, section B low intensity, section B high intensity, outro, because that's what it needed for the gameplay. They also needed to be much more traditionally like Crypt of the NecroDancer. They just needed to have a not a lot of no glass cages stuff going on, Josie, because the gameplay for the boss tracks was much more independent of like what was going on rhythmically in the game. What was important that there was just like the beat there to tether everything to. The mini games were pretty similar to that as well. It just so happened, then we put them in as rhythm riffs, and they work pretty good. But like, that's what you have to go for, is just making sure, because the Crypt of the NecroDancer, you had to have a pulse on every beat, because the game was about making decisions every beat. You couldn't syncopate it and stuff too much, or people would. Syncopation is when you're like off the beat or whatever. I want to see you do King's Ruse on Impossible.
All right,
here we go.
3, 2, 1, let's go!
this part.
I was happy reading a review where people specifically called out that the armadillos were cool, and I was glad we did that we added, because when we were trying to get triplets in, it really had to be, we were thinking like, do we use skeletons with like a 3 on the shield or whatever, or something that is in triplet meter, and we just decided to make these armadillos that each were either 2 triplets in a row, 2 swung triplets where there's a space in the middle, or all 3 triplets, and it's just, yeah, the triplet stuff couldn't really work without those in the way we do things now, because you just had to sandwich together a bunch of skeletons or slimes really close together. And I just like the idea that there's an enemy that's just a triplet. Like, to me, that's cute.
They're so cute. I almost feel bad hitting them.
Is Ryan on the Brace Yourself account?
Yes, Ryan is on the
Yeah,
Brace Yourself account.
that's because she's in her 20s and her reflexes and bones still work. I can't even if I put my hand into that shape, I'm not going to be able to open a soda for 4 days.
In the zone.
And what's great is just like these, the red armadillos, since they're spaced out, if you space them out correctly, you can do half-time triplets. So instead of da-da-da-da-da-da-da, you can do da-da-da-da. And it's just, they ended up, I'm sure the LD can weigh on this better than me, but like, they ended up so versatile.
1 HP! Oh, do I get the achievement? Is there an achievement for that? I forget.
I can't remember. I think there might be. You passed it though. The quarter
there's no
triplets
achievement.
here are so tasty.
I
Yeah.
love me some quarter triplets, 2 against, or half against all that.
Yeah. I do think like the deep blues design is one of my favorite for the bosses. Like, I love them so much.
Yeah.
Star Shadows are actually anything except they are 16s, but they're anything that's not on the beat or 8th. That was, I will say, that was a challenge working on this game. Is that Sky knows we have a shorthand for music. It's called music. It's called 8th notes and 16th notes and hemiola and this and that. We have all these terms, and like that was, we had to do a lot of that bridging, and Sky was really helpful with that stuff too, where me and Sky could sync on like musical concepts, and Sky could, because it takes time to communicate these things to people who don't know music terminology. It's like that was just, that was a challenge on it. But I heard Aaron use the word hemiola earlier. and
Yeah.
You finally drilled it into
Very
him.
impressed.
it sounds like a disease. If anybody doesn't know, hemiola is when you go da 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 da, which is different from a triplet, which is da 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 da. And they seem sound very similar for people who aren't as experienced with like rhythm and stuff. But like it's really important that those things are separately represented in game, because basically it's 3-3-2 versus 3-3-3. Tutorial?
Yeah,
Shopkeeper?
I just got
Shopkeeper?
sure.
On
This is
R,
just-
that's it?
So the reason I'm doing this is because this is the one chart in the base game here that I made from the ground up, and I just wanted to play it.
Okay, cool.
3, 2, 1, move.
And this is kind of a remix of the tutorial music from Crypt. And I'm glad, I've already heard some reviews that say this, but it's just like,
All right.
they were just like, it's the hardest hitting tutorial song ever. And this one, so important, like, this one really needed to be on the beat, because it's a tutorial, and so people need to just, and we were using Disco Disaster for that, and Disco Disaster is Hemiola City, which is hard for people to get from the get-go. So with this track, I'm like, okay, it's gonna be super on beat, but it's gonna go insane. And just get huge. Because I wanted people, when they play this tutorial, you want to make a good first impression. I just wanted to let people know what they're in for, so I just made it as huge and NecroDancer as possible. This is my like default setting, is just like NecroDancer AF, I'll say.
NecroDancer
And Brick
AF.
so we can put this on YouTube
Yeah.
and show our families.
Can I take credit for the tomb tutorial?
Yeah, you did.
I think that was me.
I think who came up with Crypt 2 with the 2? Was that me, or is that, might have been
I think
Abraham?
that was you. Oh, it might have been Abraham.
Might have been, I don't remember, but just,
Yeah.
I hate, as the team will know, I hate naming things. I take as long as possible to name things, because I hate naming them. I'm usually happy with it eventually, but I'm not really a pun guy, but Ryan Clark roped me into pun central.
Yeah.
So like, Tomb Tutorial,
It's probably a good question for Ryan.
the
in the
comedic dialogue track is quips of the NecroDancer.
Oh, that's a good one. Clips of the NecroDancer is a good one. Ryan, what's your favorite pun in the game? You can continue.
Well, there's a schmaltzy one for like the emotional moments. That one's just called schmaltz.
Schmaltz.
That's not really a pun.
Like, kind of.
Trying to think what other ones are puns. I mean, Count Funkula's good.
Count Funkula's
Count
good. I
Funkula's
really like
good.
that
I
one.
like Count Funkula.
Yeah. I like I think Aaron and I collaborated on the tutorial puns, so when you finish the puns, Zad, the Beastmaster, that says something like, "Let's take you off the grill because that was well done," or "You must be allergic to monsters because you're looking swole," or "You must be a protein shake because because that was way too clean," or something like that. So those are fun.
The NecroDancer dialogue track is "White Place, Wrong Time."
Oh, that's such a good one. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I hit every note, but I dropped the combo at one point,
no.
so not quite a full combo. But.
The Merlin puns are good. The burger minigame, I don't know who wrote those, but those ones are good too. And every time I watch a streamer do it, they go, "Oh my god." There's an actual eye roll on stream.
I will say, like, I did put some musical cameos in a lot of these songs that I haven't seen anyone notice yet, but there is a musical cameo from Crypt of the NecroDancer in the burger track.
And
there's a hint in the name. The King of Burgers.
Oh, the King of Burgers.
Can you play the burger game minigame real quick?
Oh yeah.
I know we're at time, but just play the burger minigame. No one has noticed this, but like, well, it's,
Yeah,
I think,
where do you even? All right,
Spritcha, is that rocks? Spritcha?
Spreeha.
Sprika? I don't know.
Spreeha.
Is that one of the
Polish.
LBs?
They're one of the flavors.
Okay.
Lunch Rush.
Yeah, lunch rush.
Yeah. Well, dude, they spoiled it in the preview.
3, 2, 1, burger time.
So it's in the end. Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the preview spoils it. I missed that.
Okay.
But so this whole first half was what it was, and then
Well done. You're up.
Yes, because it's very obvious.
Yes.
It's Burger Game.
so you know the reference. I showed you the reference in this.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. See, so this is okay. The chord progression's coming in,
Next up.
and then right here.
Well done.
Oh yeah.
God, I want a cheeseburger now.
That one specifically.
And then here, you asked me, so how do I stay interested in this stuff? Whatever.
You're up.
Adapting King Konga to this.
Yeah.
To be clear, I have not played like any of the mini games throughout the entirety of development. I was just focused on rhythm riffs. So
I'm getting ousted.
Thank you for joining
I
us.
believe I am out too now.
Yeah. Well.
Thank you, Necro
for
family.
joining us. You can give your hands a break. I know. It's a lot.
Yeah, it's mostly just doing it at this angle that's the problem. But, but I also haven't been playing Impossible Mode charts very much recently, so.
We're having a.
But yeah,
shift change.
thanks for having me.
Thank you, Sky.
And yeah, we'll get it over.
Hello.
Hello. Good job.
So, hello. Okay, hold on. Let me turn people up in Discord real quick. We are joined by Maruku, aka Adrian, and Charles from TikTok Games. They are our engineering programming team, basically. We've had more people throughout the years, but these are the folks that we're having on stream right now. So a little introductions from both of you. Let's start with you, Maru.
Hi, I'm Maru. I worked on Crypt for a while. You can blame me for all the multiplayer and modding stuff that suddenly started popping up in an old game. And a few months ago, back in July last year, I joined the Rift team and then brought all of the modding and level editor magic to this project. So super excited to be here.
Super excited to have you, Charles.
Hi, I'm Charles. I am the lead programmer on Rift. I've been on the project for 3 years now. And yeah, I work over at TTG. Oh man, is that Thomas Stewart in chat I see?
That is Thomas Stewart.
Hello, Thomas. How's it going?
So, I want to open this up to you both. What would you like to talk about your experience? Do you want to do rhythm riff stuff first? I figure at some point Mario would be great to talk about the level editor and transitioning the designers from our previous system, and Marlon could probably like jump in about that, to the new system, which is the actual level editor that we've released. So the level editor on Steam that you can use to create charts is the level editor that we use internally here. But yeah, what do you two want to start with?
Don't put me on the spot to make decisions right now.
Okay, Marlon,
Alright,
you choose.
I'll-
Oh no, Mario choose.
I mean, I could talk about the editor all day, but then like that's gonna fill the whole time slot.
I don't know if we have. I don't know if we have it on here. Do we have it on
We
here?
can.
we?
Yeah, let's see. We might be able to. Let's do the Conga Conga Kappa one. So if we go here, give us a second.
I guess we can talk generally about like the level editor as a concept vis-a-vis this project. I think it was one of the more interesting things that we had to navigate through development. The original level editor that we had, we were also using for making all of the mini games and boss battles as well, which, you know, was kind of a interesting decision. On the one hand, it was, you know, intended to keep designers familiar with only one tool and only one way of doing things, and the underlying engine code is somewhat shared between all of those different modes, so it made sense to do that. But over time it was just clear that, you know, it wasn't, by having to accommodate all three of those scenarios, it wasn't excellent at any of them. And so it was a real revelation when we had Maru join the project and, you know, work magic basically with the existing Rift editor.
So I will say that was my call at the beginning. I was like, oh, if we could just use the timeline editor in Unity, it would be like editing a video. So we should just do this for all of them. So yeah, it's definitely a good thing that we.
It was complex, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's nice to have a tool that's like streamlined, especially for the rhythm riffs.
Sorry, Mario was going to go.
Yeah, Mario.
Yeah, no, like the old editor did indeed look like a kind of a video editing tool. You had these like little clips that turned into actual enemies in game, but you had to place everything at its spawn point basically. So you had to kind of predict in your mind where is stuff gonna land. So earlier, I think David was talking about how there are some absolute magicians at TikTok games who just like see through a matrix and know exactly where a portal trap is gonna make stuff end up. But yeah, we want to bring this magic to everyone. So the level editor with like basically a built-in simulation, a re-implementation of everything that Rift does, is intended to make it a little easier to line things up and see how enemies are actually going to arrive at the action row at any time. So actually the reason I was like brought onto this project in the first place was kind of just to add some, you know, some nice little quality of life features for leaderboards and for maybe making some mod tools, Steam Workshop integration at some point. And then I just kind of sat down, started tinkering away at the level editor. I didn't even have source access at the time, so I just decompiled the game and looked at the existing bitmap files and got to work. And within like a few afternoons of heavily mutating the crypt level editor, like just absolutely destroying the entire code base there, that the first prototype of the current Rift editor was born. So it was really just meant as a tool for the community, but then the level designers saw it and we were like, oh my god, give me, I need this.
For anyone watching, just to be clear, this is a custom level designed by Spriha in chat, who's one of our playtesters, and he's done some really cool things with the BPM changes, because this is a song from Crypt of the NecroDancer where every 8th note you're supposed to not move. So it's like such a cool like representation of that in this game. Oh, I love it. But I mean, you can play whatever you want, Marlon.
I'll just keep playing some.
I'm game for another.
Yeah. Charles, what's been the most memorable part of working on this project for you?
Memorable. I mean, that could be a lot of different things. Yeah, memorable in terms of like hardest thing to work on was definitely, I mean, just rhythm games in general are precise on a level that I was not familiar with before working on this project. We've gone through so many iterations. Most annoying, I see Alexa.
Yeah, most annoying bug. Curious.
I mean, honestly, probably some of the music desync bugs that we've had. Just because we would, you know, we have this setup and you have to keep the game logic synced with what Fmod is running, and they update at different frequencies, and we would go through an iteration of trying to knock it out, and we'd be like, okay, I think this is good now, and then, you know, 2 weeks later, the audio team would be like, oh, this is very obviously desynced, and you'd listen to it and you'd be like, dang, I think you're right. I mean, we went through so many iterations on that.
Becky pointing out in chat, yeah, you might not think this, but pausing the game is really complicated.
Oh yeah, definitely. Pausing the game, especially with like the music and game logic needing to stay so precisely in sync, was a huge pain. But I'm really happy with where we ended up with it, especially looking back now at where we were at different times.
Yeah.
I can give a different perspective on most annoying bug, like favorite bug that kept coming back. Probably from my favorite bug, there's a remix mode skeletons, like the cursed left-facing skeletons. It's actually because we accidentally drew the sprite sheets facing the wrong way. So a property was added should start facing left, but for skeletons that actually should start facing right. And because every programmer who touched this code got confused at least once, this bug has reappeared, I think, 8 or 9 different times. Every time by a different developer. And I love the history of that ticket, just opening and closing again and again as QA keeps finding it. I'm pretty sure some of the QA people have that one bookmarked just so they can reopen it if it recurs.
It's still there somewhere in the backlog.
It's still there. I mean, the level designers, like community level creators, have actually started using these wrong-facing skeletons again. Yeah, recently. I actually was told to hide them from the editor, and then like, no, we changed our mind. Let's unhide them again. So there's an option now to allow placing left-facing skeletons in the editor. So there's some lore behind the direction of skeletons to this game.
Yeah, keep it going.
Butch Groves asks, were you able to listen to other music while working on the game, and if so, what?
That's a great question, Butch Groves, who I suspect is a friend of mine, not using their real name. Yeah, I mean, it depended on what we were working on. You know, if you're working on something that is related to the game audio, or keeping things in sync, or sound effects or anything like that, then obviously you can't have other music on while you're trying to do that. But generally, I listen to music while I work. And I mean, it's been 3 years. I don't think I can recall like everything that was on my playlist over the last 3 years. Definitely in the last like month or so, I've been listening to a lot of the power metal band Sabotage. That's been a fun listen lately. What else? Jeff Rosenstock, one of my favorite artists. I mean, we could just sit here and shout out our favorite musicians if we want, but.
Do you listen to music while you work, Marlon? I feel like a lot of your stuff has been very music timing involved lately.
It depends on what I'm doing, because like a lot of the time when I was doing like level design for like the boss battles and mini games kind of thing. So when I'm like in that timeline and just like clicking things in, then I can listen to music. But as soon as I have to like play the game and like make sure it's the music all that, then I can't listen to it. But
I'm personally not really a music listener when I work. I don't know if some people would be like, that's crazy, but yeah, I need to, if I have music on, I struggle to focus, unless it's like lo-fi beats to study to. That's the only thing that I can like put on in the background. What about you, Mario?
Oh, for me, it really depends on what game I've been like addicted to and which game has gotten its music stuck in my brain. Like for a while it was Void Stranger. I'd have like Void Stranger OST running. But what I always return to is Toho projects. Like there are so many community-made remixes of Toho music. You never run out. It's amazing. That's been like with me for the last 10 years or so.
Wow.
Yeah, if I really need to focus and can't have anything with lyrics on, I definitely will throw on like one of those like loops of Zelda Wind Waker Mulgara fight.
Nice.
Hour and a half of that, things like that.
There's a time I went through, there was just like a noise generator that you can get online where it just like does white noise, just drown out the like office sounds.
Yeah. I did once put on a video and then forgot about it, but it was like one of those hour-long of silence, but interrupted by a Pikmin noise every now and then videos. Every now and then I'd be like, what is that? Where's that coming from? That's something that you can put on.
I see Thomas in chat asking a very loaded question about sound effects.
Yeah.
Yeah, so sound effects are a really, really interesting problem to solve in rhythm games. You probably don't realize this in most games that you play, but there is some amount of like audio latency between when you send a command to, through the code to say like, hey, we need to play a sound effect, and when the player will actually hear it. And that latency can be dependent on a lot of different things. But a core struggle that you're going to run into in rhythm games is, how do I handle playing sound effects in response to user input, especially if you want those sounds to be aligned with the music, which is really important in a rhythm game, right? If you just wait, if you think about any given input as being available in a window of time, usually centered on a specific beat in the song, well, the player could hit that really early or really late. What do you do if you just play the SFX like once you know the player is given the input correctly? Well, you're probably going to be late, and they're going to hear it late and not aligned with the music. So we went through a couple different iterations on how to handle this, and we chose different solutions for different game modes. So sort of how we handle it in rhythm riffs is a little bit different from how we handle it in mini games and boss battles. But for rhythm riffs, basically what we kind of opted to do was we assume the player will be correct, and we just cue up the sound to play on the correct beat for every enemy, right? We just assume that they're going to get hit, so we play their hit sound perfectly aligned with the music. Then if you miss, we will, on demand play the miss sound, because that doesn't really need to be aligned with the music. And then we will kind of activate something that suppresses the other successful hit sounds until you get another hit again. So if you miss a bunch of enemies in a row, you won't keep hearing the successful hit sounds, but once you if you're in the flow of the game, then you will consistently hear the SFX lined up with the music. But that was also very complicated to figure out and to make work consistently. So
yeah, I think there's so much just going under the hood that. Oh, can't forget the last one. That's what always sneaks up. Yeah, I was curious. Have you worked on rhythm games before, Charles?
I had not. This was the first time I had ever done so.
How's the experience of like working on a rhythm game versus the other games that you made? Like, what are the different challenges in particular?
Yeah, definitely a lot of, like we've already talked about, a lot of difficulty in keeping game logic synced with the audio. A lot of challenges around sound effects and how to design around that and how to sort of like program solutions for that. I would say that was probably the main challenges of working on a rhythm game. But yeah, a lot of things I learned both from conversations with BYG folks who had worked on Crypt, and also just reading online. Other people have encountered these problems before. They're not entirely new, so there were some resources online that I kind of leaned on to get up to speed with some of this stuff.
What about within the game itself? Like, how did you feel working on rhythm riffs versus mini games versus boss battles? Definitely. Yeah. I know there's been definitely a lot of challenges throughout development.
Definitely, yeah. it was interesting. I think boss battles was our most kind of experimental feature. And that changed a lot over the course of development. We went through a lot of different iterations on that. Minigames, I think, were a little more straightforward, some twists and turns here and there. And then rhythm riffs were the part of the game that we probably spent the longest on because they are the core of the game, and it's really important to nail this aspect of it. So, yeah, I think of those, I think I enjoyed working on rhythm riffs the most. But yeah, definitely each had their own weird quirks and challenges.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those things where, oh my god, it's really hard to talk and play this game at the same time. Yeah, I think if we did it again, I would have definitely, like, after the prototype, you know, the rhythm riffs were pretty well set. We had a very rough mock-up of the boss battles, and I would have, you know, if we'd done it again, we'd make sure to, like, really prove out the boss battles before we get into production.
Yeah, we showed off, I think, the Harmony boss battle at PAX and other events a couple times, and that's definitely changed quite a bit since we've shown it off there. We can do some boss battles, I think.
Yeah, and like
the show.
And like, I think it was tough, but I'm pretty happy with where they turned out. Like boss battles and mini games were turned out. I think you guys built it on the. You know, we took all those challenges and you managed to work with them, so I'm very pleased with your work there.
Thank you.
What's your favorite part of this game? We'll go Charles first.
In the zone.
My favorite part of this game?
Yeah. Maybe as a player and also as a dev.
As a player, definitely. I mean, the rhythm riffs, like, you know, earlier today, I like full cleared a level that I had never, you know, full cleared before, and just that feeling when you get to the results screen and you're just like, oh, I'm so good at this, actually. That's so satisfying. It's so fun. Favorite part of the game as a dev? I'm gonna have to think about that. I'm gonna kick it over to Mara to answer those questions.
Yeah.
Alright, so as a player, I absolutely love the animations, especially like animations, music, sound, everything just feels so juicy. Every single little detail of the game has just such a great feeling to it. So absolutely love that. Even if I'm like terrible at the game, failing everything on like lowish difficulties, I still enjoy everything that the UI UX throws at me. So amazing stuff. Huge props to everyone on the team. As a developer, favorite aspect, favorite things to work on. I'm really enjoying doing like live configuration on the leaderboards, like fixing stuff in the backend. For example, these like little dev tags on the leaderboards. I actually just kind of patched those in like an hour ago, quickly editing the backend on the server side just to, you know, get those badges back, let people, you know, screenshots. Hey, I just beat a dev, or I'm so close to knocking the dev down one rank. And yeah, that kind of stuff is really fun to work with. You don't have to worry, you know, don't have to deploy a patch. You can quickly undo things if something gets messed up. It's a lot less stressful than, you know, trying to patch things on the client side, trying to deploy a game update and really hope that it's not going to break anything. Definitely learned a lot there from Crypt and Synchrony updating that game. You know, every patch had a few like hot fixes attached to it, like when the holster duplicated stuff. That was a fun bug. So we're not doing that for Rift. We're keeping it safe.
WeeWeeWeb asks, do you have any cheat detection for the leaderboard?
Yes, we do. We absolutely do. And, well, I'm not going to talk about the details, that would defeat the point, but we do have some pretty thorough verification on the server side. So I saw someone in the demo didn't have that yet, trying to claim a 99999999999 score, and I punished them into 1 score jail. Every score they submit is going to be a 1 forever.
Oh my gosh, incredible.
On the demo.
Jail
so, you know, gotta get creative with cheats handling. But yeah.
Maru, I know that your experience with BYG it started off as a modder for Crypt, making the Synchrony DLC, which basically spawned from a challenge, and not an official challenge, but a challenge that Ryan once said that multiplayer was impossible for Crypt, and you took that as a challenge. You said bet and made a multiplayer version of Crypt of NecroDancer. Is there anything that you have heard from like our team or the community where you're like, I think I could do that for Rift?
For Rift, I mean, I don't know.
Or anything that you want to do.
It does sound really tempting. It does sound really tempting to go with a little bit of multiplayer magic.
This is not a promise, just to be clear to everyone watching this. Not a promise.
It's very tempting, but also just making the game extremely moddable, much more moddable than it is right now. I love modding APIs, not supporting games. That was one of Synchrony's design goals, just make the entire game as a mod, basically. If your modding tools are good enough to make the entire game as a mod, then, people can do whatever they want with it. It's powerful enough. So, it's probably gonna look something like that. Who knows, though? No promises.
Yeah, no promises. This is just speculation.
It's fun speculation.
Yeah, I think one of the neat things is there's a lot of potential for future content, and especially with the custom modes and letting people create their own content. It makes me really excited about the future of this game. So that this game is launching. It launched today, but it's definitely not the end of the things that we want to do for it.
Yeah, y'all gotta be careful when you mention scope creepy sounding features in front of me, because I will take them as a challenge. You have to say, do not implement this, Mark, do not implement this. And I'll be like, okay, fine. I'll wait until the next time you mention it and then pretend that I forgot.
There's definitely been instances where we've been like, this would be really cool, and then the next day Maru's like, so I put this in the game.
That can happen, yes, that's possible.
What are your favorite songs, personally, to play in the game?
On. I love On so much. Good choice. I actually listen to that a lot while working on the game. It's fun.
I think my favorite to listen to is probably Rift Within. But I want to also shout out Danny and Disco Disaster. Because I think probably the oldest song in the game, and it's definitely the level that I would go to most just to playtest whatever I was working on. So I've probably heard that song, and in particular the first 10 to 30 seconds of that song, probably 6,000 times at this point. And I don't hate it. I don't hate hearing it, which I think is an incredible achievement musically. So yeah, special shout out to that.
Yeah, definitely.
Danny is amazing at making 1-1 tracks that you can listen to over and over and over and over. Same with the Crypt Miku DLC. While I was working on that, I kept listening to the start of Too Real, also probably 500 times, and it does not get old. Yeah. It's just amazing. And yeah, same for Disco Disaster. It's our default track in development mode, and that's for good reason.
You want to do some boss battles in a minigame?
Should we do some boss battles? Yeah.
Should we do some shout outs while we are
absolutely. Any shout outs that you want to do, go for it.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, and this came up already with something Maru said, but I mean, shout out to everybody who worked on this game, from the artists who made all of the wonderful art and visuals that make up the game, to Power Up Audio, who did all of the sound effects work that gives so much of the punch to the game, and the designers for putting up with me constantly giving them side eye every time they had an idea for something. I was like, I don't know.
No, that's important.
It's a give and take.
Yeah, definitely.
And especially huge shout out, Forever My Heart QA.
Thank you, QA, so much.
Yeah, a department that I think you undervalue at your own risk as a game developer.
Totally.
Alexa in particular, who was like the head of QA for this project, is wonderful and amazing, and the game would not be remotely as good as it is without all of her excellent work. Shout out to all the wonderful engineers that I got to work with on this project. You know, both those that are, you know, still with TikTok and some of those who have moved on. Thomas, who's in chat, worked on the game for the first, I think, year and a half of development. So much of the code that he wrote is still in. Carolyn and Stuart from the TTG side, who spent a good chunk of time on the project as well. Mo, who was on the BYG side for a while. And then definitely have to shout out Andy, who did a ton of like experimental dev work for us, including the remix mode, making up a truly just an entirely different paradigm for thinking about rhythm riffs that it took me like several meetings with him explaining it to me for me to understand it, but it worked and is incredible. And then obviously shout out to Mar, who came in and just did wizardry immediately. Like I couldn't believe how quickly things came together that he worked on. So yeah, and Tech Art. Yes, thank you for reminding me. Tech Art, the you know, sinew that holds it all together. So yeah, just a really wonderful dev team. So thankful that I got to you know, work on this project for 3 years. I couldn't have spent my time better. So wanted to make sure I got shout outs in.
Yeah. So many people have made this game what it is today and have had a hand in this, I don't know, I think beyond just like what we think is a cool game, I think we got to work with really cool people throughout development, and that makes it really special as well. So.
Yeah, shout out to you too, Charles. You said that this is the longest you've worked on a game too, right?
Yeah, I joined TikTok actually in 2019, and so this month is also my 6-year anniversary of being at TikTok. So
congrats.
This project is half the time I've been at TikTok actually.
Wow, yeah.
Oh, awesome. Well, I also want to like everyone that's been mentioned so far by Charles, amazing people, Tech Art, QA. I also want to give a really special shout out to Power Up Audio, to Kevin in particular. So amazing working with you. And I think Kevin is like, you know, one of the very few sound engineers, sound designers who create sounds so amazing. Like I could just listen to some of the sounds by Kevin, some of the audio from Rift or from Tunic on its own. Like that's already a playlist to me. That's just that's how amazing the sound design there is, and it's great. So
very important in chat. I'm being reminded that we absolutely have to shout out Abraham, who was producer on Rift and had the tremendously unenviable task of wrangling all of the ideas and all of the schedules and things like that. Truly a powerful force behind this game getting out at all.
Yeah, to answer Chateau, Power Up has worked on some really cool projects. They worked on Tunic. They also worked on there's like a League of Legends game that I'm blanking on. But I mean they've done, we work with them for every game because we love them so much. So but yeah, speaking of Abraham, I believe he's supposed to be in our next segment, so we can definitely shower him with because there's no way this project would have gotten done without our producer, our wrangler. He really kept us on track.
Yeah.
All right, well, we can hop out so we can let them get their time in the
Thanks for
spotlight.
joining us.
Yeah.
And if there's any last parting things that you want to say?
Shout outs to any friends and family who I told about this stream who are maybe lurking.
Shoutouts to the playtesters.
Oh
Yes,
yeah,
shout-
thank you.
Hey, you guys rock.
yeah.
Thanks so much.
Amazing.
And shoutouts to Abraham, who is not here.
And shoutouts to Maddie.
Abraham.
I'm actually right here, but thanks for all the shout outs. Appreciate them.
Alright, we'll hop out of here. See y'all.
Woohoo, bye.
See ya.
We're into our final segment of the stream. Thanks everyone who's sticking around and watching. We're gonna talk about art. We have Abraham here, we have Sunny, and we have Piper. If we want to do some introductions, let's start with Abraham, then Piper, then Sunny.
Well, hello there. Hi, everyone. I'm Abraham. I'm Rift's producer. I basically work across all departments with pretty much everyone involved. Basically, just getting things out of their way, making sure stuff gets done, bonking them every once in a while when design scope gets a little too crazy.
Bonk, yeah.
But yeah, I've been supporting the project since early prototype days, all the way to today's release. Maybe a little beyond. So it's been a long road, but man, I'm just really happy to be here today. Very proud. The game looks amazing, and just really happy that everyone is enjoying playing it. So yeah, thanks for having me.
Super excited to be able to chat with you all. Piper.
Hello, I'm Piper. I am one of the illustrators on this project, and I handled basically like sketching and rendering a lot of what you see on the screen. And I also designed almost all of the album art for Track Select, so that was very fun too. But yeah, happy to be here.
Yeah, we got some concept art from both Sunny and Piper that we're gonna go through in a sec. Sunny, let's hear from you.
Hello everyone, I'm Sunny. I'm the art director on the TikTok side on this project, and I joined pretty early on, and I worked on a lot of things actually. Some character designs, a lot of the illustration with Piper, and then all of the UI. And yeah, so I'm really excited to have everyone finally see what we've been working on for 3 years plus. Happy to be here as well.
Yeah, oh my god, the art in this game is so good. I think especially like the minigame stuff is my favorite things ever. Just the cute art style. What's been your favorite things to work on in the game?
Personally, I would have to say the mini games were my favorite. Just making them still read as like give them personality, but really simplifying them to like their base, like just really just be as cute as possible. I mean, I love it. I love drawing cute things. Can't complain.
Especially like who is responsible for the photo shoot mini game stuff? Because it's very good.
Photo shoot is
that would be Piper and I.
Yeah, Sunny and I did about like a half and half thing with like sketching all of the poses for those Polaroids.
Yeah, the fail poses were definitely like my personal favorite.
Yeah. So
yeah.
The one with the bird.
The one with the bird.
That one is pretty epic.
Yeah. I like the blurry one. It's like Marlon definitely failed on purpose a couple times and that to show them off. It's really funny. Oh!
I'm trying to like talk and do this at the same time. It's like...
Yeah, Mega Ran. Shout out to Mega Ran who does the rap over this mini game.
Yeah.
Super talented. Are the minigames references to specific Rhythm Heaven games? We definitely have been very inspired by Rhythm Heaven in a lot of this.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if they're like specific references, but definitely inspiration. Yeah.
Oh, come on. You're looking lifeless like you're in a crypt.
Yeah, this is Mega Ran,
Yeah,
who
Mega Ran.
was the original Fortissimo in the crypt.
Yeah, that's the sneaky little Fortissimo reference here.
Yeah. I know, Abraham, you specifically were like, I want to be on the stream in the part where we're doing mini games. I want to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, we got Sunny there on the left.
Yeah,
and,
that's right.
Me on the right.
To be fair, I was trying to just go for a generic NPC, but I guess it kind of looks like me. I have 2 eyes and a mouth and some hair.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely Abraham on the right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wear a mole costume all day.
Oh my gosh, we gotta get actual mole costumes. You know, like those Among Us ones?
Yeah.
Oh my
right.
gosh, we gotta get those.
The little googly eyes that move when you move fast.
Yeah. Give me 1 sec. Sorry.
Yep.
You heard it here, folks. Future merch, mole costumes.
The original NecroDancer could be a bit of a grungy environment. Where did the decision go for something so much more crisp, clean, and lighthearted?
1 burgers.
I think.
You muted?
Oh,
no. There you
go. Oh, me?
Yeah.
Next up.
I feel like honestly, when I came into the project, it was I feel like Marlon had to do something with the initial mood board that I was given.
Oh yeah.
And also our Klei, who actually designed a lot of the main cast of characters. I kind of took a lot of inspiration from her style and her designs, and I really made like a lot of design decisions based on just the characters themselves, including how bold they are, how graphic they are, and I tried to make the UI and other characters and other art that can match that original look and feel.
Yeah, Ryan in chat says, I wanted the game to be set in the modern world with this anime style, and then Klei came up previously, so I think this style has obviously spoken to a lot of people, and we loved it pretty much immediately. The concepts were cool from the beginning. Chateau says, who were some of your favorite redesigns?
Not too shabby.
To anyone?
I have to say it's gonna be Nocturna for me, Piper.
Nocturna is also one of my personal favorites, but my actual favorite character in this game is Suzu.
Oh, yes.
Ooh.
Oh, Suzu's great.
She also had one of the most complicated outfits to render, and it wasn't symmetrical, so every time we flipped over poses, we had to redraw all of it. And I was like, oh, I hate that you're so good. And I had to honor you.
In the, I want people to recognize in the story mode when the characters are talking, it's not just a flipped image, it's actually redrawn completely because the characters have different sides. And, yeah, they did a lot of work on the dialogue poses.
There's no flipped art on this game.
Yeah. Tuff says, can you tell us who these girls are? They're, you might actually recognize them from the intro video. They're actually following Nocturna on the set of the Showtime minigame. They're her assistants. They just like to do yoga together. I know we're past the burger minigame and we're on the yoga one, but I want to just say that I love that the last burger on the hard burger game is just like one patty and then the bun. I think that's great.
At one point, I really wanted it. I really thought it'd be funny if, of course, Abraham's gonna bring out his scope on thing, but like, I wanted to have a little card there that said that had a ticket that said the name of it, and then it would have like a funny name for each burger.
Oh my god, that'd be funny.
But that's definitely a scope on.
Yeah. I would love to take some time now to talk about. We've collected a bunch of concept art from both Piper and Sunny, and I'd love to go through them and just have you talk about everything. Are you good to do that?
Woo!
All right.
Yes.
Let's do it.
Cool. So first we'd like to talk about, I organized it in like, we're gonna talk about album artwork first, and then I think monsters, and then backgrounds, and then characters, I think is how I organized it. So
this is cool.
Yeah, Piper, go for it.
All right, so I designed a lot of the album art, of course, with like direction and help from Sunny, like pitching in some like really cool designs for other album artworks. But Necrosonautica was one that I really had a lot, like a ton of fun concepting. I was researching like metal and death metal album artworks, specifically ones that used a lot of symmetry. I just really wanted Necrosonautica to have like symmetry for some reason. I also wanted to use optical illusions, like the negative space also forms something cool. I actually didn't know like how it was gonna turn out. I was like, I want an optical illusion of what? Who knows? But then it turns out like an electric guitar fit kind of perfectly in between NecroDancer's like dual heads. So it was a happy accident.
Yeah, I think originally, maybe Abraham, you can talk more to this, but we weren't going to have original or different artwork for every single song in the game, and we decided to do that. But how was that choice for all of you?
Well, you know what? It's one of those choices that you do when you have a certain amount of time to make a game. And sometimes you just gotta make sacrifices in order to make sure that everything gets in there on time. But as we were taking a step back and just really thinking about what additional content we can add to the game, what other future modes we wanted in, so that gave us a little time to tell the art team, hey, we got actually a little bit of extra time. Please come in. Let's go all in into the song artworks. So I'm really happy that we managed to get that time.
Me too.
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah. Also, Sunny and Piper, you can let me know when you want me to go to the next slide as well. Oh yeah, Piper is saying you can reverse image search these. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'll recognize some of them, but I was mostly just looking at their aesthetics.
Yeah.
But that bottom right image is of Medusa from Soul Eater.
Yeah. Oh, I'm also realizing that I'm sharing the game still to our teams. Let me share the actual OBS so they have an idea of what slide I'm on. There we go.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So
Okay.
Count Funkula is probably my top 3 favorite designs I've made for these albums. I knew immediately that I wanted to research a lot of like jazz records, or not even just records, but just like concert posters, graphic design in general. So I kind of wanted to experiment with something like expressionistic, cubist, abstracted, and a limited color palette. And then of course I went for a vampiric theme because I have to honor the pun.
Yes, definitely.
So we're on to Nocturning.
Yes.
Ooh, okay. I
make me
love whenever like Sam and Nick make a song. Period. I really like that sort of like specific genre of like electronic, kind of like spacey, vibey music. And the vibes of that song really reminded me a lot of Japanese like city pop, like sound and visual. So I researched a lot of albums. I took a lot of inspiration from Sailor Moon as well.
Yes.
And fun fact, I actually own that second album from the left, Pacific Breeze 3. It's a compilation of a lot of city pop and J-pop songs from the 1980s. It's absolutely a gorgeous listen, and it did inform the color palette of Nocturning.
Yeah, you mentioned that you collect albums, right?
I do. I think I'm at like 113 records and maybe 125 CDs, but I still think that's pretty small.
Wow.
I know actual music collectors like collect, and I'm like, I don't even have like a room dedicated to my records. Ugh, I'm such a pleb.
What's like your favorite record that you have, if you have one?
Oh my gosh, that's hard to say. I have a lot of genres from a lot of decades, but I don't know.
Putting you on the spot.
Okay, I'll shout out Pacific Breeze 3. That second album. That's one of my favorite records. It's a really good compilation album.
I'll listen to it, everyone. Let's see. Now we're Overthinker.
Oh, this one's great.
So good.
Oh wow.
This one's gone through quite a
Alright.
lot of iterations too, I think.
Yes. Shout out to all the Journey fans here because I definitely was taking a lot of inspiration from Journey covers, which are like quite beautiful. Journey is just known as like, yeah, dad rock, whatever, cringe, karaoke, and I'm like, have you seen a Journey cover? I don't know. This is just like gorgeous, like sort of like fantasy, like sci-fi, almost psychedelic art. Lots of jewel tones, lots of high contrast. And I really wanted that for Overthinker because I think Hef is like a big Journey fan. He would be.
That makes sense.
To
Yeah.
me.
I think
And
so
then,
too.
a
Yeah.
little shout out. It's actually Merlin's like eyes that are at the center of that sun.
Oh, that's amazing.
And it's
Yeah.
that body.
I was just
So
gonna.
it's
I
kind
was
of
just gonna
like
say. Oh, sorry. I was just gonna.
together.
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt. I was just gonna say that I love how you incorporate the art from the game too. Like that's a dialogue pose that you kind of used as
Oh
well.
yeah.
Yeah.
We Frankenstein over here.
Yeah, I love that.
And it looks incredible.
Yeah.
I actually wish I asked people more like what their different headcanons are for different things, because I loved hearing Danny be like, yeah, these are my headcanons for the shopkeeper, and then the headcanon that Hef is a huge Journey fan, I think. Really, it's tits. It's good.
He just spoke to me, that's
Yeah.
all.
I think this is the last album. We selected a few to talk about. But I think this is the last album artwork we have here. And this is one of my personal favorites.
It's
Yeah.
my favorite song. Okay, Rift Within, I don't know. Whenever I would listen to it and play it, it's like it's very overwhelming. It feels like almost like maximalist when you listen to it. So I got a lot of inspiration from like I want to say like 90s to like early 2000s Japanese art. I wanted a lot of bright colors. I wanted a lot of like cute faces everywhere. I specifically wanted this to be like a circular composition and like for it to like radiate colors. And I also just wanted to draw Suzu because she's my favorite character. So I just made her like have like silly expressions and she's like spinning around the record. She's probably having a bad time, honestly.
Getting a little dizzy, yeah.
What's the first
Oh, that's a Japanese like all-female music group. I believe their
cool.
name is like on that poster, Atarashi Gakko.
Cool.
Yeah.
I love
They're
it.
great.
Great inspo.
Yeah.
And of course there's like another rhythm game, Papa Rappa the Rapper.
Yes. Shout out to Parappa. And also Wario.
And
in there.
WarioWare. I
Yeah.
love WarioWare.
Me too. Yeah.
So good.
We have a couple people in chat saying like, can I just say how much I love and appreciate seeing all the art and concept art spotlighted. This is great. You did an amazing job. And then another says, love how perfectly you captured the energy of each album inspo while still staying true to the game's art style. I think, yeah, it's you really killed it with these.
Oh, thank
Yeah,
you.
great work.
This is what I do it for.
Yeah, let's see what's next. Oh yes, we get some monster inspirations.
Woo! Okay, so for this task, I was asked to do early like concept design for the Harpy, which was a pre-existing monster in Crypt, and then Sunny would help me later on to like flesh it out into what we see in game. But before, we were just taking stabs at like different like shape languages and how we would, you know, simplify her face into like a chibi form. I kind of like the one that has like only harps as wings because I was like fitting feathers and like 2 harps, and she's like, I don't know, like 40 pixels tall. This is gonna be tough.
It took me an embarrassingly long time to realize that Harpy was a pun.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Oh my God.
I'm pretty sure Jesse, in the original designs to you, had a harpy wings.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the images in the top right, those are from Crypt. Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's Jesse's art with the brown background there. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to talk a bit about like what the monkeys were, what the concept of the monkeys were translated
in the
to?
early prototype.
In the early prototype.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. That was such a long time ago. At some point, we had an idea. It was a very rough idea, and I don't think we even like put it in or anything. But there was ideas floating around. Like basically, the idea was we'd take a monster from Crypt and like how would that work in Rift? And so having the monkeys like take up your action row, or they would like hold on to it. And you have to jam on that key or something, but it didn't quite fit. It didn't quite work with the flow of the game. I don't know, Abraham. Do you remember more about that? I don't.
I remember we cut them early on.
Yeah.
It was just an idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, because sometimes it doesn't work with keeping the beat of the music.
Yeah,
it feels a little bit too far from the rhythm game genre.
Yeah.
So that's why we made that decision to cut it. And I think we at some point we also tried it just to be like a single row of enemies where you just press down. But then that was a little bit too on the other side of the spectrum, too basic. So that's where we just opted to cut him.
But they are cute as heck in this concept.
Yeah.
Here's some more Harpy. I think this is where more direction what we currently have, right?
Yeah, we got closer and closer to the final design. We decided to keep like the harps in her wings since it seemed like pretty classic. We're experimenting more with her body silhouette, and we're deciding on like a final like head shape. And then I think the next slide is like her final one. Yeah, a little messy turnaround, some expression.
The expressions are so cute.
Explorations.
Yeah, basically the main difference between this and the last slide was we just made her head like extra large. And her body is just tiny.
That's great.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they wouldn't read on like the Rift lane. They have to be small.
Totally.
Well, I do want to call out just how challenging harpies were for animators.
Oh my gosh! Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The readability.
We did a lot of iterations on this. The readability in general. We tested it early on with playtesters in internal dev team as well. And we were like, oh, "This is not working. It's just like not readable at all when they're coming at you, especially because they skip one row. So it was super challenging just to find the right frames. But yeah, shout outs to Renee and Tammy and Marlon, who also like jumped into those animation frames trying to piece it all together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, actually, I don't know if you have it on the thing, but we can talk about the worms. I feel like that was.
Oh, I don't think we have worms in here. I think the next slide might actually be a concept for an unused monster.
Okay.
Yeah, here.
Well,
but we can talk about the worms.
Talk about the worms because I mean Abraham could probably speak to this, but that was a heck of a journey to get those in. And the fun fact about those is that if you watch in the game now, when you watch the animations, the worms' eyes like go like this, like their eyes spin like this, and I think the animators I don't know whose idea this was in the animated art team, but I think you guys were struggling with it for so long that you were like, oh, these worms, like they're so hard to implement. I love that little.
Yeah, we struggled with the worm in several phases too. Just initially just with its body and just making it move, but also like never like having it segmented, but like making sure it doesn't ever become separated in any frames.
Yeah.
Right. And then later on there were just so many issues with the worm. I wanted it to die.
But they turned out great.
Super challenging.
Yeah, they did. Yeah. They did turn out great. Yeah.
Yeah. I think Renee, our lead animator, was the one that was like, "All right, let's just put crazy eyes on Worm," because we also have like a Here's Wormy, kind of the Shining.
Coming out of the
emoji.
Slack.
Oh god, we got so many good emojis in our Slack.
Yeah, and actually, the worms were so the worms came to be because we wanted to bring the dragons back in from Crypt. I was trying to think of like what can we do, and then And then Maddie actually had a lightning talk at BYG about all these different dragon types. Like, do you remember that?
I love dragons. Yeah.
Maddie loves dragons, and she talked about the worm that didn't have arms, and I was like, oh great,
Perfect.
That's
Yeah.
That's how the worm became to me.
Yeah.
And now it's in Synchrony.
Now it's in Synchrony as as the weekly challenge. Yeah. This is the concept for another crypt character called the Deviled Egg. Once again, a pun. But this is unused. Do you remember what was gonna?
I think it was gonna be what the armadillo is now. I think that was an original. And do you remember?
Yeah.
That you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
it's
we
exactly
opted for
that. Because I think it came in between before Armadillo because we figured that we could have the same mechanics with the double deck that we have now with the double shielded skeletons.
Right. Yes, that's what it was. Yeah.
So we were like, all right, then we don't need this additional monster. But then the music required it, and conversations with Danny, with Ryan, and with level designers, we were like, all right, so we need an additional monster. That's how we, instead of bringing Double Deck, we opted to bring Armadillo.
Yeah.
Yeah, the armadillos are very cute.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, I made this drawing so long ago. I was actually telling Abraham, like, oh, you don't remember much about it, except, like, looking at it now, I'm really glad we did end up with Armadillo. Just the body, there's so much detail that would be hard for us to animate on B and, like, making him... Because I thought I had drawn him like walking down the lanes, and I don't know if that would have like been snappy enough, which is something we were very concerned about. So yeah, glad this one's in the dustbin, but
it's such a great design though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you like? Do you think about like when you're doing these monster designs? Are you thinking about the animations when you're doing them, or are you kind of just like pie in the sky first kind of thing?
Yeah, I definitely do think about but more than that, I think at this stage I'm just trying to make them be part of the Rift world, because I'm taking the inspiration from Crypt, and like it's a very different art style, and I feel like Rift is a lot cuter. So, taking the inspiration, but I think he's pretty cute. He's got like a really large head, but still has that monster aspect, Crypt world aspect to it. So yeah, at this stage, mainly concerned about just like making him fit with the branding and everything.
Right. Oh man, it would have been cool to have Jesse in for this part actually, because the monster design is the jam. Another time. Yeah, I think here's another one that we didn't put in the game. This is what's it called in Crypt? But they're like the mage.
Oh, I think it's
skeleton mage.
Skeleton mage. Yeah. I think that's what it is.
Yeah. I think if I remember, you wanted to use the skeleton mage to put traps.
I think they were gonna use monsters, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Initially, we were gonna have monsters drop traps as they go down, and then eventually we were just like, no, let's just let the level designers like do whatever they want with them.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was the initial plan.
Yeah, this one's really cool.
I love this redesign too. You don't remember?
I don't have. Oh, the redesign?
Do you remember making this one?
Oh, concepting him?
Yeah.
Vaguely. This is also one of the very early ones, and I feel like I just drew this in an afternoon, and then we're like, nah, we're not going with him. So, I do like his like little ribs poking out of the little tatters that he's wearing. But I don't think we would have been able to see it in if he were in game. But cool little egg.
Cool little egg.
Yeah.
Blade Masters.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh, this guy's fun. This is actually my favorite monster to like encounter in a Rhythm Rift.
Me too.
I think
Yeah.
to me, besides getting an armadillo right, getting Blade Masters right, especially like an armada of them, feels really good.
Yeah.
It's so
Anyways.
satisfying.
This one was also a bit of a toughie to make into like the Rift style because as Sunny said, we have to like babyfy them, we have to make them super short, but we also have to like sell that this is like some sort of like undead knight that has armor and a sword and a cape. So these are some early concepts that I came up with, just like, you know, throwing stuff at the wall, seeing, you know, what like shape language or like colors we would want to, you know, lean towards. And I think we went like with something close to like the upper right one.
Yeah, I think we had.
And then yeah, Sonny gave me
Little
some
more.
notes, so we babyfied him even further.
Yeah.
Just writing out different hues on him.
They're so good.
They're so good.
Yeah. Shout out
I think I was
to.
talking to one of the. Oh, go ahead.
I was
Sorry.
gonna say shout out to Power Up Audio as well because the sound design for it is
Yeah.
so important for these characters.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We were still doing updates to sound with Power Up Audio, like I think a couple of weeks ago. Like, we were still tweaking it just to find that perfect spot. And you know, working with Power Up is so great because they are absolute perfectionists. So we gotta make sure that we're getting it right.
Game dev never stops.
Yeah.
Never stops.
Yeah. Sorry, Piper. What were you saying?
Oh boy, I don't even know. Oh, I was talking with one of the musicians. I think it was Josie, and I was complimenting her like on like a song that I was finally able to play in like our build, and I was like, oh, I really like this song. Feels so great. I really like this monster, and Josie's like, my favorite monster is the bug one, and like in my mind, I was like, bug. I was like, what bug do we have? And then I think maybe she shared a screenshot, and I was like, oh no, she means the Blade Master.
Oh
no!
That's so funny. They kind of give Hollow Knight, so I see it.
Yeah.
I think this is
There
the
it is,
final design though. Yeah.
Oh, so good.
Yes. That one was made by Sunny.
Very cool.
Yeah, I just took what Pepper had and just blew up his head. That was my job, blowing up the head.
Yeah, it's so good. Yeah, this one was, I don't know, I was, when we were concepting monsters, this one I was like, I had an idea. I was like, it's gonna act like this. You're gonna press the button and it's gonna move here. It's gonna be great. And then I remember the team just did it. I remember the first time it appeared, I was just like, oh, it works really well.
Yeah.
And yeah,
so fun.
the art is incredible. Yeah, well done.
Oh, we do have worms.
Oh, we do have a worm. Oh yeah. Oh, I remember. Yeah,
Joyous day.
Sorry, I lied to
Skeleton
everybody.
worm. I forgot about it.
Yeah, skeleton worm. That looks complex.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was like
that
too
wouldn't
many-
have worked, but you know, it was fun. And then my personal favorite, the one on the right, he's just round.
It's just very round.
I feel like
Yeah.
we would have had less trouble keeping Wormy together in bone form than instead of his fleshy form.
Maybe.
Maybe. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But oh well. We settled for a derpy D, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah,
That
D
was-
is pretty much exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I really wanted him to be really derpy.
Oh my gosh,
So
Nailed it. Yeah.
all of these were derpy.
Yeah,
I was happy with a bunch of these, but I think Chloe's the one that chose D. So thank you, Chloe,
Thank you,
for
Chloe.
the bulging crazy eyes.
Yeah.
I love the design so much. It's my profile picture in our Zoom calls.
Oh, that's
I'll
true, it
join a
is.
Zoom call and it's a worm face. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how you know we're all scared immediately after seeing that.
Yeah. What do we got? Oh, okay. I'm really excited.
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This
Yes, I've been waiting for this.
Piper, you want to talk about this one?
Yeah, I'll start it. So originally in the game, we had some fun. We were trying to get some functionality done to where you could go into a certain menu as Cadence because you're playing her, and she could retire to her like apartment in the city, and you could see stuff like you've achieved. Maybe you could collect photos. Maybe you could change her skin at her wardrobe, etc. And so I was tasked to concept and like sketch out the layout for this room. So I wanted her to be a music buff, and so I gave her like a record shelf, a record player. She's strewn her favorite ones on the wall. She has an exposed brick wall because she's cool like that. She has very light. I guess apparently I made her able to like play the piano / keys because she has a guitar and she has a keyboard.
Great choice.
But she has an acoustic and electric guitar. She has like a little gaming setup with some bean bags for friends to chill. I just imagine her and Suzu and Dove like hanging.
Yeah, I think this was probably one of the hardest things we had to cut.
Yeah, it was so sad.
Yeah, it was sad, but it was also it was too much.
It was it was a lot of work.
I mean, this art is incredible, and yeah, but I think it would have just been too much work for what we wanted to do.
It definitely was a big scope bunk.
Yeah.
But yeah, art looks amazing, Piper.
Yeah,
Thank
really
you.
did a
And
good
Sunny
job.
was the one that applied all the colors and rendered it out.
Yeah, we took a lot of time working on this one, but I feel like we're secretly just enjoying it. But yeah, I was gonna say this room is very aspirational for a teenager to have. And I like that we have just one sock and like 2 shirts on the floor. I'm like, let's be real, like a real teenager would have much more chaos in the room, but you know, it's pretty, so that's what we were kind
Shout
of
out to her
going
skateboard.
for.
Yeah.
Background design tip: if you want to make a space feel like believable and lived in, you have to like skew a lot of things because like humans don't live on a grid, and we certainly don't put away our laundry. So her bed's unmade. She has clothes everywhere. Her game controller is still left out, but she wears house slippers because I made her have a shoes off house because I just
She's
can't
not a
have her live.
monster.
No.
I know she doesn't go on the bed with like her like I don't know, like Tim's on or something.
I think we have like additional okay, here we go. Some concepts from sketch to final for we did a lot of I say we, so Sunny and Piper did a lot of background art for the dialogue scenes. If you want to talk about it, I'll show. This is like a lot of them here.
Yeah. All of them.
I'll go back to here if you want to talk about it.
Yeah, so for these two, I sketched and rendered these things on the screen. So I got direction from Tina Tai, one of the writers for the game, and the top one was supposed to be like a quote-unquote like adult arcade, like an arcade, but a bit leveled up, excuse the pun. Just something like vibey, someplace that you can like hang out. It doesn't smell like mothballs and grease and super old games. And I decided to put a lot of like some classic and some new arcade games that I personally enjoy playing. So we have a spin-off of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I believe they're called Preteen Alien Sumo Pandas. Yeah.
The names of these games are really good.
Then we got Aliens, and that's now UFOs.
UFOs.
BDR is now Bop Bop Revolt. And my personal favorite, Project Diva, has been turned into Pro Prima Donna with
Pro Prima Donna.
Mysterious blue-haired girl.
Mysterious
on screen that has no homage to any other diva whatsoever. And then snuck in a reference to Crypt of the NecroDancer. I'm pretty sure we could have put it in anyways, but I decided to also make it off-brand, and that's like Grave of the Dead Lancer.
I like that.
And then we have like
Yeah,
a claw game where you can get a bat.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gabriel in the chat says you want bat plushies. Yeah, everybody wants bat plushies.
Yeah, I'm telling you, bat plushie is the way to go. Everyone was like, I want slime, and I'm like, no, you guys are wrong. Bat plushie.
And then the bottom one is the alleyway where we meet Suzu, and this was fun because I really like making like messy environments the most because I feel like you can push the storytelling. So we have like abandoned aluminum cans, we have posters strewn about. One is actually where like Dove the character, her dove bird, I don't know, I just made her missing because she wasn't in the game, and I was like, help us find her. And then we did in the minigame.
Yeah,
so.
She's been found.
And then we have like a neighborhood watch sign, but I put NecroDancer in it.
It's so good.
Because he is suspicious.
Yeah.
Wait, was that a reference to? Because I remember early on in the yoga game, I'm one of the bigger scopes for the idea was that halfway through the yoga game, a dove would fly in through the window and like land on her head, and then she would like. And that's why she would stop giving you instructions, like this dove. And then it's like, that's how she meets her dove.
Oh.
So
This was a thing? This is the first time I'm hearing
really?
about
I've
this.
never heard that either.
I didn't know this.
Oh, okay. Maybe I only chatted with Chloe or something about that. But I remember having that idea. It's like, oh man, like, yeah. But
Well, it's built into the lore now.
it's built in the lore now. Yeah. It's canon.
I think these are unused concepts actually.
The graveyard.
The graveyard.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry about these, Piper.
I know.
That's okay.
Look at
It's
me.
okay.
so much.
I'm grieving in silence, but they're living now, so everyone soak it up with your eyes. I did the sketches on the top left and the bottom right, and the artist who actually rendered that museum is Jimmy Taeyong. He is with TikTok Games and just did a stellar job. So the story for the top one is that's the exterior of the museum that, you know, Hef is displaying his art at. So Tina the writer told me that it should be on a giant lot, it should be by a waterfront, it should look tall,
fancy,
and modern and glassy. And so I was like, you know what screams class to me? When you're by a waterfront but you insist on having a shallow pool right next to it, just to stunt on everybody. So I'm glad
true.
that made it into the final concept. And then the bottom right one is another thing that was originally going to be part of the story, but then it was just cut. It happens. But it was Hef's workshop where we actually see him make his art. So we have his like anvil on the bottom right, and then there's the camera from the photo minigame resting on it. So
that's such a good detail.
The cannon. We see all of his works in progress, like all of his sculptures on the left, sitting on those like Costco shelves. And then he has like a corner where he keeps all of his mementos. Like there's like a nice framed picture of Merlin, which I imagine is the only nice thing in his workshop. And then he has like a really, really long to-do list that I'm sure is like from 2 years ago and he hasn't like made a dent.
That's what I'm
My
talking
God,
about. The
Piper,
headcanons
so
are so
much
good.
detail.
Yeah, exactly. Good.
And then of course the aquarium.
Oh, so I made the aquarium. I just love aquariums. Aquariums are superior to zoos.
So true.
Yeah, and I love the what are they called? Like tunnels?
The tunnels.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are I'm lucky to have an aquarium next to me that has that, and yeah, that's me imagining like myself going through those tunnels. And oh, I do remember we put in an eel for Piper because that's her favorite animal.
Yeah.
The moray eel, you can see it right there.
Yeah.
It's almost dead center.
Oh yeah, nice.
Yeah, eels are classic.
So
Yeah.
so sad we never got to render this one, but there she is.
Then I think these ones were all the ones that got rendered, and you can see we have both like a day and a night version of a lot of the locations.
Pretty, so pretty.
Yeah, so good.
Yeah, so the one thing I can comment on here is that you can tell there's 3 color schemes, and I was going for like the CMYK kind of thing, and we really needed more yellow ones, but I'm like, yellow one is the hardest one to work, so
Yeah.
we had so many blues. I think everything that was Nocturna was blue, and just everything city was like, I felt like it just worked better in a blue color scheme because it's colder, and the pinks kind of we're going for more like cozy spaces, and yellow as well of like scenes with natural light.
Yeah, there's like so
But-
much thought. I remember seeing the threads about the different decisions about the coloring, being like, wow, there's so much thought going into all of these different scenes.
Yeah, and you really made it work, Sunny, because we could have gone another direction and just add more color to it. But the fact that you opted for just a very simple pick of colors, it just makes it stand out even more. So
Yeah.
I thought that was just a great direction in general.
Me too. Limited color palettes
Well,
are so hard to work with also.
Yeah. I can't take full credit for that. I do remember like maybe my first week on the project, Marlon told me to think of Dexter's lab backgrounds.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my
And
gosh.
so
I didn't know that.
that's where, the inspiration was first sparked. So
super cool.
Shout out to Marlon.
I'm sure.
Shout out to Dexter.
Yeah, I'm sure it was a conversation between me and Chloe at the time, but yeah, we were definitely we were like, oh, the like Saturday morning cartoon backgrounds where they were, they're one color. Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, we kind of went with Saturday morning cartoon as a vibe for a lot of things, like the trailer song, for example. Like the electrical conduits is what Danny called it, but it's like a remix of Power Chords from Crypt.
Yeah, true.
Very Saturday morning. Sunny, I think this is
Oh,
your game.
okay. Yeah, so this is also another like artifact of our attempt to create like this map for the storyline mode. RIP that idea. It was, too taxing,
It was
but
really rough. But it looks so good.
I really
Yeah, it looks cool.
I really like had to go online and really learn how to make isometric everything. So, but I'm really proud of these, and I do remember looking at this. I made Hef live in a shack. The windows all boarded up.
Oh my
yes.
That one's so funny because everyone else gets a really nice space and Hef is just living in a cinder block.
Yeah, it's a
It's very
cinder block with plywood nailed to the windows. So I don't know what's going on there, but
Merlin says I'm staying somewhere else. Thanks.
yes,
Merlin's for sure in that skyscraper.
yes.
Which one? Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. Wait, the skyscraper was
Nocturna,
For the
maybe.
lounge.
Oh, that was the
Oh, the
lounge.
lounge.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, we didn't show the lounge.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Another time.
But yeah, basically the way that this worked, it basically functions the same way that it kind of does now. But we had like a map. Every time you went to a new location, like the map on the right hand would like scroll to a new location. Then it would like line up with the story, but
yeah,
it just wasn't necessary.
Yeah, and the prototype was working pretty good, but I think that when we were starting our polishing process, we were like, do we really need this? Do we really need to do all this? So that's probably why we cut it.
Yeah. I like the story beat for
Yeah.
It's
very, very early.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and then this one was more recent. This is for I got a request from Klei to sketch some concepts of NPCs.
Oh yeah,
for
as like some
right.
background. Klei did both the intro animation and the outro animation for us. they look incredible. But yeah, that's where Klei is involved a lot here.
Yes, so this is a peek. These characters, they took a lot of them and rendered them for the credits. So, yeah, see if you can see these characters. I had a lot of fun. Just imagining city folk, and I love the grandma. That's my favorite one.
Me too.
It's so good.
Yeah, it's so good. Oh boy, here we go.
Best character ever.
I'm cracking my metaphorical knuckles, but they're not metaphorical because I have real knuckles. This is Zad, aka Beastmaster, and when we decided to bring him in game, he was going to be, the character on the right that you see who's with you for like tutorials, and he just kind of like helps you get stronger. So I specifically got direction where we wanted him to like look kind of similar to Armstrong from Full Metal Alchemist.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, nice.
And also to make him like, like a gym bro, but like, a bit more cooler than just a bro. So we kind of made him look like strong and imposing, but like ultimately kind. He's like not someone you should be afraid of.
The nicest gym bro will spot you and do anything.
Yes, he's what all gym bros should be. And then I got some feedback, and they were like, "Hey, can we make him have less clothes?" And I was like, "Sure." And so we had the second pass that I was like really in love with. I drew a lot of inspiration from like 70s and like 80s like men's athletic attire because, well, I don't think all of them were wearing crop tops like that. That was kind of popularized in a lot of movies, but I do know that like the hem for shorts were a lot higher. Like that was just very normal, especially in like gym class. Lots of like old gym movies or whatever just have them in like tiny shorts, and I was like, okay. And it was really fun to draw. And then I gave him a tattoo. I think I got a lot of asks for tattoos on him, so I gave him a worm tattoo.
It's so good.
So good.
There was a couple other iterations, right, of the tattoo. Do you remember what they were?
Yeah, I think they were just of like different monsters and perhaps like a classic like heart with like a arrow through it. But I also gave him some scars because if he's a Beastmaster, I don't think he, started off his career as a Beastmaster with like no hiccups. So, he has some memories of beasts maybe he couldn't master, but
and the little slime on his shoulder.
Yeah,
that is his ethically sourced slime. His name is Slime Jr. Canonly, his name is actually Slime Jr. We call him that. And he has like a classic athletic headband, but I think Aaron was like, "Is this the flag to Bulgaria or it was another country?" I was like, "What? This is just like a athletic headband."
I remember
He's like,
that.
"Are we allowed to show that?" And I was like, "I mean, he can be Bulgarian, I guess."
Oh yeah. Oh, sorry. If there's anything else that you wanted to say about Zad, I wasn't sure if there's anything else.
His name?
Oh.
How did we come up with the name?
Yeah, how did we
there was a story.
Yeah.
There was a story. I'm drawing a blank.
Am I allowed to say it? I remember
go for
it. Okay, well, yeah, it's short. It's literally short for Zaddy because we were all just calling him that in like the Slack channel, and then we just made it canon that his first name is Zad.
Yeah,
so
he is a Zaddy.
Yeah, I think Ryan decreed that it was official, and we were all like, "Wait, is this a joke?"
I thought it might be at first, but no, it's real. It is great. Thank you, the Meme Overlord, for the raid. Hello, everybody. We're going through some concept art of Rift right now. Yeah, this is Harmony.
This is a very one of the first art pieces I made for this project. You see, I was a little confused at the bosses. I thought she was Dove, so that's why the color palette was directly from Dub, and I was immediately told to, diverge from that. So, but Cardcaptor Sakura, big inspo for this. Other than that, I think, one thing about the wings, her wings, Chloe actually made them kind of move as if they had a mind of their own. So if you do pay attention, the wings kind of move according to her expression. They kind of I don't know, as if they're really bird wings. So I thought that was a really
super cool
design.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that you took into consideration for emphasizing character expression, right?
Yes, you can see it in this sketch right here. This was actually some style notes I gave to when we were trying to find an illustrator who ended up being Piper. But one of the notes I really wanted in inanimate objects kind of attached the character to be expressive. So her crown and her hair, you guys can see that a lot in the actual game, that their hair will become zigzags when the character is feeling frenetic or distressed. Let's see what else.
The skulls all mimic the expressions too.
Yeah, I love that part.
Hair skulls.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that's that. Pay attention to Cadence's the skull on her scrunchie.
Yeah.
It's gonna mimic all of her expressions. And another cool thing I love about Rift style is that it's very flat and there's very, very minimal shading, but I did write, on the bottom right here that we are trying to imply 3D shapes with minimum details. So that, by using the thin strokes on the hair itself, we're implying the 3D-ness of her bangs and whatnot without relying on too much rendering.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So good. To answer Chateau Lon question, Cadence is 5'2", I believe. She's a shorty.
Ooh.
I'm 5'2" as well. So
Right, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and then that was it. Yeah, we had some more art that we wanted to share. There's specifically boss things that we wanted to look at, but they were kind of spoilerific, and so we figured that might not be the best thing to show on a day one launch stream. So I think it would be really cool if we could show it off at another time. So hopefully we can do something like that. But yeah, that's all of the art that we have to share today. Anything else that any of you three, Abraham, Sunny, Piper, want to share?
No, I think we're all just super hyped.
Yeah.
We're seeing people writing the reviews on the start page. Everything's super positive right now, so I'm so happy they were able to open up a window of what happens in the studio, in our day-to-day conversations. These are illustrations that we worked on a long time ago, and they are part of the foundations of the game that we have now. So it's really cool to show everybody on the stream all of this work.
Totally. Yeah, it's been a crazy day for all of us.
Yeah.
So seriously, thank you everyone for joining us and celebrating this with us and letting us talk about this work that we've done for the last, some of us, 4 years. It's been really cool, and now we can talk about it a lot more freely. So
Yeah.
We're gonna start wrapping this up. First of all, thank you to everyone. So thank you, Sunny, Piper, Abraham. Thank you to everyone
Thank you
who
so
joined us
much.
for this stream. Thank you, Klei, who helped us set up this. Shout out to Jan. Shout out to Corey. Shout out to everyone. who helped us make this happen, and for monitoring this. I know we've gone longer than the usual streams, and they also made like these cool assets for this stream. Thank you everyone in chat for helping us and just being so enthusiastic and being here. We hope to do more, both in the game itself and just with the community, so keep an eye out. We're pretty active, we're super active in our Discord. The link is on the banner up above, discord.gg/braceyourselfgames. So come and talk to us if you have more questions. We'd love to chat more.
Yeah.
Otherwise, any...
Yeah, just again, I can't say it enough. Like, big shout out to, I see Sharif's in the chat. Big shout out to Sharif and Abraham and Sunny and Charles and everybody at TikTok. Like, you guys were so good to work with.
Yeah, shout out to the composers, Alex, Sam, Nick, Josie, Danny, and everyone who helped them with it too, like Sarah Hubbard, Aram Zero.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mega Ran.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so many people. Yeah. Thank you all.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna sign out.
Okay.
We're good. All right. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you on the flip side.
Bye. Another meeting.